Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save, too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save nearly $800 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $793 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. exclusively on the Odyssey app as we go live with Odyssey. Join in on the action as we cover interesting facts, top 10 lists, and some fun new games. Follow the Men's Room page on the Odyssey app and join in all the fun Thursday afternoons at 1.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 18, episode number 3,865. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, woo! And Mike Hall. Montgomery! And you, are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack. Breaking it down.
All right, here we go. Wisconsin bomber arrested after leaving behind a half-eaten burrito full of his DNA. Meanwhile, an Amazon delivery man delivers a package during a police standoff in a SWAT team, just like any other day. Woman sneaks wine into festival to save some dough. Man uses tracking device to watch his stolen luggage on the go. And a lazy man tries to steal Legos in a stolen car, and he fails. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, there's an old saying, don't knock it till you try it. And that's a fair statement, but sometimes, well, I won't knock it, but I ain't going to try it either. In this case, I'm talking about the storied Filipino culinary staple known as balut. If you don't know what balut is, it's an 18-day-old fertilized duck egg that is steamed and eaten out of the shell. Duck and all. No, thank you. Now I feel about balut the same way some people feel about sushi. We talked about this yesterday. It's just the idea of eating raw fish. It's just not something that some people can overcome. Promise you it's delicious, but I get it. Fair enough. But do you know what I would try? A woolly mammoth meatball. Now, I know what you're thinking. Thrill, you're an idiot. You might be right. And sure, woolly mammoths, they went extinct about 10,000 years ago. But thanks to scientists in Australia using resurrected flesh, they made themselves a meatball from a woolly mammoth. We are not joking. So you're wondering, how does a woolly mammoth meatball taste? Well, we don't know. Why? Because everyone is now too scared to try it. So they created this thing, but no one wants to eat it because they can't get past the fact that it's a woolly mammoth meatball. maybe we need to starve them a bit, right? That way they'll definitely want to eat it, because starvation is an amazing motivator. For example, most of us have no desire to wash down a mouthful of bugs with a tall glass of urine. But a man lost in the Amazon for 31 days, he did exactly that to survive. Sure, he also had to hide from jaguars and fight a pig, but yeah, he ate bugs and drank pee. And then there's the Chinese food blogger, who's not starving, but she was just fined over $18,000 after she filmed herself eating a great white shark. Turns out, can't do that. Anyway, we're talking about food. Good, bad, weird, smelly, strange looking, slimy, we don't know. But here is today's question. What food will you never eat again? Or what food will you never try?
Be a part of the big show. Call 206-803-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, the Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Walk the dogs, school drop-off, meetings from 10 to 3, take kids to soccer, then no time left for a jog.
When everyone else is relying on you, it's easy to put your needs last. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online, so you can show up for yourself the way you do for others. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Michelle's away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode number 3,865 on a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeats. Exciting return of Who Sucks Last. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people in the news doing bad things. You take 3 stories and you pit them against each other.
They're the only 3 stories that I can actually find in a week where people are doing bad things, yeah.
It is up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. How are we looking this week?
It kind of depends on your perspective. Let's just say we have Nick Cannon's idol. I think that would be a nice way to describe that. Think of Nick Cannon's
idol.
This would be a guy who Nick Cannon clearly aspires to be. I'll leave that.
What was that D-back's name for the Jets? Cromartie? Was it Cromartie? No.
Wasn't it
something Cromartie?
Cromartie. He had, 11 kids?
He had a lot of kids. Yeah, he actually got a vasectomy.
And still had kids. That's the thing. The vasectomy did not work.
He tried to do something about the situation, but it didn't work.
We have a man who committed a crime that would only be acceptable if you have one arm. I think you know what story that is. If you have one arm, I would let this go.
That is a terrible story.
Otherwise, I think it's unacceptable. And someone who, let's just say, misleading advertising.
Okay. Leave it at that. All right. Who Sucks Less coming up. As we do every Monday through Friday, we'll head on over to the Odyssey app exclusively for the Men's Room Happy Hour. And for episode number 359, today we talk a little mascot action. And Ted, you're going to get a pop quiz, which means no time to study. That was one thing we learned in school. Pop quiz means I didn't know it was coming.
Damn right.
But this is what I'm prepared for.
You know, depending on the sport, they ranked Major League Baseball mascots as we get set for opening day tomorrow.
Okay, I was thinking college.
Major League Baseball. So they have...
So college is your strength. We know that.
That's how me and Brett play Mascot Madness.
Okay, Mascot Madness. And do you struggle more than with the professional leagues, as it were?
I do.
Okay.
All right, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Could be.
All right, we're going to do a little mascot a pop quiz coming up on the Men's Room Happy Hour. If you don't have the Odyssey app, by the way, download it. It's absolutely free. There's hundreds of channels on there. All of our stuff can be found, believe it or not, on the Men's Room page. So if you search for the Men's Room page, you'll see the link to the Men's Room Happy Hour, which only goes live at 6 o'clock. Keep in mind that as far as the language and the content, that's a little different because the same rules that apply to these airwaves do not apply there. So we can cuss, we can talk about all kinds of stuff. So be careful with the Happy Hour if you got kids around. But all of our podcasts on there.
Be careful with the Happy Hour for parents.
As well, we've got something pretty cool coming up here maybe the next couple of days to announce where it'll also be on the Odyssey app. So download it now and catch us on the Men's Room Happy Hour. And today on our question, we're going to talk about foods that you will never eat again, or some foods that you'll just never be willing to try. And we brought this up yesterday. We were talking about some of the relatives that come my way from the East Coast, and I'm always excited to take them out for sushi because in my mind, and I have eaten sushi in a lot of different places, but I truly believe that Seattle has some of the best, if not the best sushi that I've had in any major city.
Sure.
You know, San Francisco's got good sushi. There's a number of places that do. But there are a ton of great sushi restaurants in Seattle. We get great fish. I want to take them out and give them that opportunity to try it.
And the influx of Asians.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I was watching Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmerman the other night, and he was in Seattle, and he was like, this top-notch sushi city.
Oh, right on.
Oh, yeah, it is.
No doubt.
But you know what? They won't go. Why? Because they never tried sushi.
And they won't eat it.
And I get it. Look, you're going to dinner. You probably want to go get something that you like. But look, we could just pop in for a minute and you could try a couple things.
Sure.
We don't have to eat dinner there. You're not going to get full on sushi. That was another thing. We'll just stop in. I want you to try a couple things.
And they won't do it.
Trust me, we could go eat dinner at a sushi restaurant and leave and still want to go get dinner someplace.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not going to change your appetite at all. But we start
to get pizza afterwards.
Yeah, we start with a story, and this comes from our friends at brobible.com. As scientists have created a woolly mammoth meatball. Finally, from resurrected flesh. However, they are too chicken to taste it. A group of meat scientists out of Australia have created a woolly mammoth meatball made from the resurrected flesh of a woolly mammoth. Now, this is an incredible achievement and a testament to the powers of our modern technology.
It's an incredible achievement that, just real quick, it's resurrected flesh. It's not that we recreated a woolly mammoth, but we made a meatball.
Right. Scientists behind the world's first woolly mammoth meatball are too afraid to eat it, citing potential immune system reactions. So Val is an Australian company, and they're seeking to change the way the world thinks about lab-grown meat. They want to convert millions worldwide to eating things that can be produced in electrified systems. According to their website, they make better meat directly from animal cells, saying they go from a handful of cells to an abundance of delicious, nutritious, and sustainable meat within a matter of a few short weeks. So they have recently created this meatball. They came after that to, first because they were trying to create a meatball, believe it or not, out of the dodo bird. But the DNA sequences that they needed do not exist to create.
So we can't get dodo balls.
We cannot. So
Man, I want some of them dodo balls.
So they pivoted.
I'd order that.
You order dodo ball?
Yep.
Would you take that over the woolly mammoth ball? Say we're looking at the menu, like, look, you can get one or the other. You're going dodo balls or mammoth balls. I'm going mammoth.
I'm just, it sounds bigger. I'm just saying, I don't care what it is. If it's on a menu and it says dodo balls, I'm in.
You ever found a frozen saber-toothed tiger? You mean, they're in the same area as the woolly mammoth, right?
Yeah.
Geographically speaking.
They have to have found some flesh from something somewhat. Would you try saber-toothed tiger balls first?
Well, I'm saying, even if they found something that was encased in sap, or I don't know, like a small older dinosaur.
Yeah.
Could they resurrect that the DNA sequence if it's available?
I mean, they could at least do the meat. We know that much because they just did it with this, right? I don't know if they could resurrect the whole thing. So, okay, of all the extinct animals you can think of, all the different dinosaurs, woolly mammoth, saber-toothed tiger, dodo bird.
I don't think it needs to be extinct. I would try.
I want extinct food. I want to open a restaurant where the only meats that we serve are from extinct animals.
I got you.
All right, what do you got?
And Miles will try them. Pterodactyl wings.
Pterodactyl wings.
I just think they'd be too leathery, man.
Well, I'm going to smoke them.
Yeah. That might be brine them, smoke them.
Right, you know what?
You get a little skin out of it. I like the skin part of the wing myself.
I got you covered.
All right. Chicken skin. I will have to say bald eagle.
You gonna try bald eagle?
I would try bald eagle.
I think they would taste like ass. I really do.
I don't know.
I feel like ocean scavengers are delicious, right? Shrimp, crabs, anything that eats turds on the bottom of the ocean. Somehow, in spite of their diet, they are delicious. But I feel like mammals or birds that eat just like chicken's delicious, but chicken, it's not eating carrion. It's eating marigolds and grass. I don't know. I think bald eagle. Look,
you don't hear a lot of eagles being eaten, period.
I'm sure they are. People have obviously tried them. Those are
people have tried, but I feel like you would hear it in another country, right? Obviously, they're protected here in the States. We understand that. But people aren't eating golden eagle. There's still eagles available to be eaten, but no one seems to want
those two guys who were busted, and they did not know they were from a different country. They were
shot and killed the bald eagle.
Yeah, when the police came up there, they opened up the trunk like, look,
we killed the bald eagle.
We got it, man. We're going to eat the damn thing.
Sure.
They're like, no, you can't do that. They had no idea.
Yeah, they were from Honduras, right?
But the plan was to eat it. So once the dodo bird,
why don't we eat goldens?
That's what I mean. There's eagles available to be eaten. I get the feeling people have eaten it and said this tastes like ass. That's my only guess, right?
Well, you think the biggest, ugliest bird on this planet, that's an ostrich. You would think that would be tough and terrible. They run real fast. They're very active as far as everything else. However, ostrich is delicious.
I have not had ostrich, but everyone I've talked to that's eaten it says it's good.
Mm-hmm.
What about the shoebill? The bird that looks super angry?
No, because, man.
Why? Because it looks mean?
It's personal. You can't. No.
You think it's personality translates to the food?
I would love to have one of those in my house, man. You walk in my house, man, and one of those bad boys is just there
staring at you.
Yeah. I mean that's.
But ugly things generally taste better.
That's true, like lobster. Look at lobster.
What do they call that thing again?
I think it's the shoebill. I believe so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That angry looking bird.
Like crabs look like crab. It's not like the pig's an attractive animal.
It is not, but it is certainly delicious.
Ted, you've seen this guy before, right?
Yeah, 100%. I'd eat him.
Look at that thing. Uh-huh. Now, I'll tell you what is cute and delicious. Lamb.
Yep, it is. Yep.
Cute little animal, tasty as hell.
So, believe it or not, with the woolly mammoth, it only took them a few weeks to produce the meat. In order to do so, they took the DNA sequence from the mammoth. They used a key protein that was in the muscle to give the meat its flavor. They filled in a few gaps using elephant DNA. So they go through all this, and it was ridiculously easy and fast. We did it, actually, they said, in a couple of weeks. But their explanation for why nobody's eating the lab-grown woolly mammoth is interesting. We haven't seen this protein for thousands of years, so we have no idea how our immune system would react when we eat it. But if we did it again, we could certainly do it in a way that would make it more palatable to regulatory bodies. But they say that there's going to be a bunch more experiment as far as different types of animals to create meat out of.
Would you be willing to try that woolly mammoth meatball, even knowing that potentially the protein might do something weird to you?
I would not be the first at anything. I'd rather be the second.
Yeah, that's my father's theory of all things.
Exactly. Because in the end, they would say, why in the hell did this guy think it would be okay to eat the meat of an animal that went extinct thousands and thousands of years
Because
ago?
they have a picture of it, and honest to God, it looks delicious. It really did.
Now let's do a quick test here. We have 21 of the most hated foods in the world. Now, when we say hated, a lot of these are very common foods. So I will name the food. You tell me if you like it or you can't stand it.
You said these are just common everyday
21 of the most hated foods in the world.
All right.
Number 21, Brussels sprouts.
Hate them.
Love them.
Love them. Absolutely love them. Mike, you're a Brussels sprout guy.
No.
No? Okay.
Especially now what they're doing with them.
Like crisping them up or whatever?
Sometimes.
Yeah, or just like I said, when I was a kid, we had them on holidays, and we steamed them and put them in vinegar. Mm-hmm. Now people cook them. You can cook them in bacon fat, this and that. The Brussels really, as the kids would say, it's had a glow up.
A glow up. Number 20 on the list, cantaloupe. I love me some cantaloupe.
Oh, I like cantaloupe.
I'm indifferent to it.
All right. Pickles, number 19.
Hate them. Hate them.
You hate pickles?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Have you seen me when they got pickle on my sandwich? Don't I always offer you my pickle spear?
And I always turn it down.
I
always turn it down, too.
What if you get a chicken sandwich from like Popeyes or Chick-fil-A? You're taking the pickles off?
Yes, every time. 100% of the time. Yeah.
Number 18, black licorice. Do not like that at all.
God,
but I'll drink absinthe.
That's different because
I don't like that taste.
I don't like the taste, but absinthe still gets me where I'm going. Look, if I ate black licorice and I got a buzz, I'd be more prone to eat black licorice.
Is ouzo, is that more of a black licorice flavored?
Is.
And so is Jaeger's got a little bit of that in there too, right?
Is it anise? Is that the name of the spice that kind of gives everything that flavor?
I mean, ouzo has like the beans in it too, right?
Ouzo's awful.
Jaeger I like though.
17 is tuna. I love tuna.
I like tuna.
Yeah,
is it canned or regular?
Either way, man.
I'm with you.
Yep, tuna's fine. Candy corn. Can't stand it.
No,
Number 16.
I'll eat some candy corn.
I don't think they're bad. They're just not good. I don't know why they exist. Unless you need like earplugs.
It tastes like wax to me. Like you're eating
sugary wax.
Well, it's like the original Halloween candy.
Right.
Number 15 on the list of the 21 of the most hated regular foods in the world, we have Spam. I'm a fan of Spam.
I do not enjoy it. It's not the worst. It's just too freaking salty, man.
I'll tell you what I did do one time when I was living the high life over there in Ballard. I made myself a Spam fried rice dish. Just kind of cubed it up a little bit, made small little cubes.
I will eat the woolly mammoth meatball before I want your Spam fried rice.
Really? The grease from the Spam worked amazingly within the fried rice.
I'm sure
it was almost like bacon fried rice.
Yeah. Almost,
but it was Spam.
Right.
14 is all the white people's favorite, mayonnaise. Yeah. I'm a big fan of mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is fine. I mean, it doesn't really have any taste.
Well, the thing is, there's so many different things that you can do with mayonnaise to make mayonnaise better. If you don't like the original taste, as far as putting in different ingredients, if you can make a ranch dressing.
Do you really taste mayonnaise? I mean, if you put it on your sandwich, you really get. To me, it's just like a mouth lubricant. You know what I mean?
You could taste it, but I like mayonnaise. Okay. Like I'm the stereotype.
13 is ginger. Believe it or not, a lot of people do not like ginger. I love it.
I like ginger.
I like ginger in doses. Like
that's fair. That's right.
I feel like you can over ginger something.
Liver. Number 12.
Nope.
That is one that I will never, ever eat ever again. ever.
I might try it again. I haven't had it since I was a kid.
Oh, God.
What about liverwurst? My father used to love liverwurst.
You know what?
Man.
I had some liverwurst last summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Is it better than liver?
Yes.
All right.
Bottom of my shoe is better than liver.
21 of the most hated foods in the world. Number 11. Pineapple pizza.
Love it.
It's not the worst. I don't like sweet on my pizza. That's all.
I would rather just have a cheese pizza at that point.
I agree.
That's all.
I don't mind pineapple. I love pizza. I just don't want them together.
And maybe ham is okay with something else. I've had it like on a meatloaf or pizza with a couple of different types of meats. I typically just don't order ham on my pizza.
I don't want ham on my pizza.
If I order ham on a pizza, it's because I ordered a Hawaiian pizza.
Right.
Number 10 is bologna.
It's okay.
I love some fried bologna. Raw is fine, but a fried bologna sandwich to me is top notch.
Bologna is one of those things where I would sit here and say, "Oh man, I love bologna," but again, I don't think I've had anything with bologna in it in 10 years.
But what's the difference?
If you got a sub maybe with 2 or 3 meats on it, sometimes they sneak in a bologna.
And I'm sure there is some difference, but essentially, so like I don't want bologna, but I'll eat a hot dog. Or Spam, to me, is just like the creamy version of bologna.
21 of the most hated foods in the world.
Which is fancy bologna, right?
Number 9, circus peanuts. God, I hate them.
No.
God, are they terrible. I cannot believe that
they're the original marshmallows and Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're better if you dunk them in milk, then.
That might
I
have
still,
been
I still like them.
Really?
Yeah.
I
don't actively buy them, but every time we joke about them and we get them in here, I eat them.
Number 8 on the list is eggplant. I do like I like some eggplant, especially when it's done.
Not the worst.
In like an eggplant parmesan is normally pretty good. Mm-hmm. They do fried eggplant like they do zucchini in some places, and that's really good as well.
You can have like eggplant fries.
Mm-hmm.
I could also have French fries.
You could.
Yeah. Number 7, bitter goard. I don't know if I've ever had bitter gourd. Good
it's just an angry pumpkin.
Especially good if you have diabetes, I guess, to eat. But it's not the most pleasant. It has been often said is the most hated food in all of China. So I don't know.
That's 1 billion people.
Much about bitter gourd, but apparently it's not good. 6 is durian. We don't have to explain that one to you. 5, tomatoes. Now we're getting into the top 5. I enjoy tomatoes.
I don't hate them. I don't love them, and depending how thick you cut them determines whether or not I pull them off the sandwich.
So if it's thin, it's okay.
If it's thin, it's fine. If they're thick,
wasn't there a woman who lost her goddamn mind because one of the tomatoes at a Wendy's or something was cooked too thick?
Yeah, she started dropping N-bombs and assaulted the woman behind the counter.
See,
so the tomato was too thick.
How you slice a tomato is obviously very important, Steve.
I mean, she went straight race, Listen, N-bomb, dude, it's a tomato.
I say it all the time. I like bruschetta. I don't eat tomatoes on sandwiches generally.
Number 4.
Yeah, if you dice it up, I'm more likely to eat it.
4 of the most hated foods in the world. That divide people. Mushrooms.
I enjoy mushrooms. Ted, you hate them, right?
Yeah, I'm out. And I've tried them so many times.
Okay.
Have you tried a chanterelle? Yes, I have.
3, we understand. That would be cilantro. Either you have a taste for cilantro and enjoy it, or you don't. I know there's a scientific reason behind that, but I do like it. 2 is olives.
I like olives.
I love olives.
I'm out.
Really? I like sliced black olives. They are okay. I do like a tapenade.
I enjoy tapenade. I like olives. I currently have some stuffed olives in the fridge. Mm-hmm. Thank you, people, for coming over and leaving them there.
Yeah.
Number 1 on the list of the 21 most hated foods in the world. That would be beets. And
I hate them.
I am just not a fan.
Beets suck.
I got in trouble because of beets. You ever eaten beet salad? It looks like Jell-O. I did not know that it was beet salad because that's an amazingly stupid idea to me. But fancy dinner party. I'm like 15. I'm there with my mom, and the woman throwing the party, it's like white linen napkin kind of thing. So I saved the beet salad for last because I think it's going to be the sweet treat. Put a mouthful of that mud in my mouth. I have no idea what's in my mouth now that it's in there. And my mother's sitting across from me. She's giving me this look like, do not spit this out in her white linen napkins. That is what she's telegraphing. Mm-hmm. I am telegraphing back. I am not swallowing whatever this is that is in my mouth. I feel the tip of my mother's shoe hit my shin because she's trying to kick me under the table. Her way of telegraphing, seriously, don't do it. And I thought about it, and finally I took that napkin and just looked at her like, she was so pissed at me after that dinner, and I was like, look, man, I don't know what that was in my mouth. It was like gelatinous mud. I said, and she explained, it's beet salad. I said, okay, I will never eat that again.
Our question, what food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Love the skin you're in with Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
Odyssey celebrates Pride by amplifying the voices, music, and conversations of the LGBTQ plus community. Download the free Odyssey app and listen to podcasts celebrating and having conversations about the issues facing LGBTQ plus Americans, like It's Okay to Say Gay, Queer Intentions, and The Bald and the Beautiful with Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamo. To hear music by and for the LGBTQ plus community, plus podcasts and more, go to odyssey.com/pride or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
0.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
A few from the text lines here says, I'm Jewish, so I was forced to eat gefilte fish. Never again. I have tried that. You're right. It is awful.
It's not something I plan on eating ever again.
No. This one, they have a quick rundown. It says chitlins, cow tongues or brains, Rocky Mountain oysters, haggis, blood pudding, dog or cat, scorpion, and many other things will never go in my mouth. It says, I will never try calamari.
What?
I will never, but they add, I will never try calamari, and I don't like beans. Everything else is fair game.
Okay.
I don't know if
I will say calamari, if I had known what it was, I probably would have never tried it.
I mean, look, typically the only time I eat it is when it's been deep fried, and you just get the rings. And I've worked at restaurants where we kind of stuff the tube, so to speak, and all that. And but if it's deep fried, I think it's
What's
delicious.
crazy about squid is the same frozen box that it comes in at the bait store is the same frozen box
It's the
that they
exact same
send
thing.
to the restaurant. And I know that's, of course, it's a frozen
I know, but
squid.
it's just weird when you work at a restaurant and you get your shipment in. You perceive this as food, and then I go to Bass Pro Shop, and that's the exact same thing that we're serving in the restaurant.
Same company
Like,
that sent it to
Jesus.
you.
Oh yeah, they don't care what you do with it.
I hate when you get calamari and they do it Italian style, which is not breaded.
I agree.
The traditional way of doing it, more of a ceviche kind of way. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Breck. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I got two for you. My mom ate pickles pig's feet. I will never eat that stuff ever again. Gelatinous, hormel. Ugh.
So you did. Well, my grandfather used to eat like chicken feet, but he also enjoyed pickled pig's feet. And I never tried it as a kid because the thing about pickled pig's feet, You know, when you look at the jar of it, it looks exactly like what it is, right? There's no disguise. But we did try it a couple of years ago on the show. We brought it in, and it was awful. You're right. The consistency is not meat. I don't know what it was, but I was like, this is really horrible.
Yeah. I couldn't stomach that stuff. And the other one was when I lived in Germany, I tried Lutefisk, which is the cod soaked in lye, and it almost gives it like a Jello consistency, and the texture. The taste isn't too bad, but the texture, the Jello fish. I love fish.
Well, what were you now? Is this something you chose to order, or was it just something you tried?
I tried it. I was in the Army, so we had one of the other soldiers. His wife was Norwegian, so she all brought it in because he ate it. He loved it.
What texture in everyday food do you tend not to like? So nothing eccentric, just basically
texture. Ooh, that's a tough one. So I can't eat just about anything. We were just talking about the mammoth ball, me and my coworker, and I would try it, but you need a little rice, maybe some gravy.
I can't do cottage cheese. For some reason, the texture of cottage cheese throws me off.
To me, it's just like someone chewed it for you and spit it back in a container.
And tongue, because tongue
tastes like tongue.
Feels like tongue.
Yeah, anything that's real rough. Like I've had some burnt pizzas where the pepperoni gets kind of like sandpapery, and I can't do that. That's
really?
Too. Yeah.
I love those pepperonis, man. So, dried up, burned ass pepperoni.
So with the tongue, here's a weird one for you, right? So I just don't like the fact that that I can feel the tongue in my mouth
and see the taste buds and everything.
But
else.
If someone wanted to stick their tongue in my mouth, more than likely I would have no problem with that.
But like I said, everything is situational, right? So when I was younger, how do you put this? When I was younger, some other people perhaps had experimented in the sexual world, and the thing that was always said was, tastes like chicken, right? Well, it doesn't. And I thought to myself, it does not. And if it did, you'd probably do it more. Or let me rephrase it this way. If chicken tasted like that, you would not sit down and eat chicken. But situationally, you don't mind being there. But it's not like a taste you want to recreate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still tongue in your mouth.
Yeah, no, but I mean, tongue in your mouth because
it's
a
real
better
tongue.
Things. If you're candy noodling, like this is not. It's not like it's peppermint. You know, this is a very unique taste that I never want to recreate anywhere other than this moment. You know, so I know what you're saying. Like eating a tongue is one thing. If someone's sticking their tongue in their mouth, it's leading to better things.
Okay.
Right? So you kind of accept it. But what if their tongue was the size of a cow tongue?
But I don't chew on a tongue either.
No, it's true. So you don't chew on it. Yeah.
I've had some tongue tacos that are pretty damn good.
Yeah, you swear by them. I just can't get past the fact that it is a tongue.
Does it feel like, in the tongue taco, does it feel like tongue or is it sliced up more? I mean, would you know if someone didn't tell you? Would you think this meat feels weird in my mouth?
I didn't think so.
Okay.
I've also just eaten a piece of it. We had a friend that was making it once because they were making a bunch of tacos. They were like, just try it. I was like, all right.
Not bad?
I'm trying to think. Like, mushrooms to me have an odd texture.
They do. Yep. They do. There's nothing else that feels
That's a
like
weird texture, and tofu is a weird one.
Well, how many funguses do we eat other than mushrooms?
I think that's the one.
Blue cheese?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cheese,
mold,
but right.
To a certain degree.
But, you know, that's a good point, too. Like, this is moldy cheese, but man, oh man, give me more of it.
You got to wait for a long time to get that stuff to mold.
So what is it about that mold that's different
from the mold in your cheddar cheese?
Right, because I'll get cheddar cheese, I see mold, I'm going to toss that cheese. Like, we can't eat this. There's mold on it. But you buy blue cheese, you're like, this is nothing but mold, and you eat it.
Don't toss the cheese. We can cut the green off.
Yeah, the good old days.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Parker. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. So what will you never eat again?
So I was dating this Filipino girl, and she got me to try balut.
A balut? Yeah.
I'll know what that is.
And a fertilized duck egg that's been aged anywhere from 14 to 21 days, and then you eat it with the duck still inside.
Now, did she buy this, or did she do it herself?
I think they bought it somewhere. Her whole family went and bought some, and they wanted to sit around and watch the white guy try it.
All right, that's fair.
Okay. All right. It's probably some test for anybody who's, not of the ethnicity to try that food.
Does this only happen to white people?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Right, because, look, I'm black, but every once in a while, if it's families around, if a white person shows up, it's just weird. I'm like, oh, you got to have them try. And I'm like, because they're white, and they're like, damn right.
Yep.
So I'm just, like, it doesn't happen to black people. Like, hey, my black friend, try this mayonnaise sandwich. Like, it doesn't happen.
Try this mayonnaise.
But somehow it seems like white people are targeted like, hey.
Have a Triscuit.
Right. You got to try this.
I mean,
you like shredded wheat?
Try to go to Cracker Barrel.
Part of that is, though, like, because I just watched a show on fried chicken, like how KFC and Popeyes.
Okay.
But, like, a lot of the diet in the 50s and stuff, with white, I mean, it was that bland. Like, people didn't put anything on it. You boiled meats, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
that was the whole, like, stereotype. Because it seems like it only happens to white people. Oh, a white person, have them try this. Whether it's good or bad. Right? Like, if I walked into my grandmother.
I think it's more like, how do we get this white guy out of our family? Try this thing.
Look.
But it's funny.
My grandmother never offered me chitlins. I never wanted chitlins. But Miles, if she were alive and I took you to see my grandmother and she's making chitlins, she would offer them to you. She would not offer, right? That's it. She'd be like, oh, try chitlins. Because I know you haven't had them before, right?
Correct.
Do you like them?
So I think it is more fun that way.
That's why I said, Ted, I want to bring you to my family in Houston. First of all the food is good. Like, they would feed you more than they feed anyone else in the family.
Yeah,
I'll sit down right here, man.
I don't know. It's old school Catholic or whatever.
Can I take my hat off first? I mean, I just got it.
During Lent and for some reason during Christmas, in the Italian Sicilians, they would make fish head soup.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
But there's an actual fish. There's no actual other part of the fish in the soup.
Right.
So there's no fish meat in it. It's literally just the head.
And you just will boil it down slowly, I guess.
So when you look down in there, I'm sure you could take the meat out of the cheeks.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I've seen it before. But is anything else in, like, are there noodles?
It's got an eyeball. I mean, it's the whole head. And as a kid, I remember stirring that because my grandmother was telling me to stir the soup. And I was just like, oh, God. And you could smell. And the head was very fishy smelling.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a fresh fish half the time. It didn't smell fresh.
You are not going to buy a fresh fish.
For fish head soup.
No.
But that's more Italian, right? Because around Christmas, isn't that the Feast of the Seven Fishes or something?
Yeah, that's when you have the squid.
The 7 fishes.
Mm-hmm. It's like a holiday where you got to have like 7 seafood courses.
Now, see, as a black guy, if I showed up, would you guys invite me to have your seven fish?
As soon as you're done playing hockey.
Right. Hey, first things first. Playing hockey first, then we'll give you.
Could you imagine stirring that as a kid?
That would be terrifying.
It was terrifying. It's just like, who did this to me? Why did you do this to me?
Why is it still a tradition? Like, I know traditions stick around, but sometimes you say, why? Because I'm looking at the fish head soup. I'm sure some people like it, and that's fine. If you like it, go eat it. But don't make everyone else eat it. Like, no, part of our tradition.
It's always an ass, scaly type fish, too, where it's got scales. You're like, oh, God.
But, I mean, that's where a lot of the, like, when you look at the Midwest and stuff, I can't remember if we were talking about it or I was talking about somebody else, but, like, that's where all those, like, fish fries in Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
Sure.
That's where a lot of that stuff starts because we don't eat, like, Catholics don't, you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays and Lent.
Right.
But until, like, the 80s, like, you just couldn't eat meat on Fridays. Or the 70s. Like, when my parents talked about growing up, they were like, oh, you could never have meat on Fridays.
Does that include fish?
No, you can have fish.
Okay.
You just can't have, like, red meat.
Isn't that still the same, though? You're not supposed to eat, like, other than fish, you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays during Lent, correct?
Correct.
Like, still now.
Right. That's where you get the fish fillet. A guy in Ohio made that for all his Catholic people. But, I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, that's just what you had. Like, we didn't eat a lot of fresh fish.
You get, like, fish sticks and all that?
Yeah. Or you get, like, fish sandwiches on Fridays in Lent, or you get, like, a cheese pizza.
Ted, I had
real quick, for instance, when Maryland won a national title in 2001 in basketball, for some reason, every week they played on Fridays, right? Like the first 2 rounds. So I would get off work, my cousin Tom would come over, we would go to my dad's house, and we literally would drink soda and eat cheese pizza and watch the games.
Living the life.
Cousin that, not the greatest guy in the world, but I did do my due diligence to try to hang out with him because that was kind of part of the plan. But his wife kept kosher, he kept kosher, blah, 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 blah. We would go to a bar, and he would ask if he could just get some bacon.
For real?
If we were together. You know, he'd get a bacon
so he never did around the family?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think all that crap is... I'm not going to eat meat on Friday. I have seen so many people that it's almost like you're doing it just in spite of the fact that someone is telling you can't.
You do it
to a certain
family tells you have to. Like I said, one of the restaurants I worked at, the owner walked in, the same guy to cut his thumb off. The owner walks in, and he's got like something over his shoulder, but he's eating a cheesesteak, right? And I looked at it, it was a Jewish guy, and I go, dude, you realize it's Passover. And I mean, he spit it out of his mouth, all right? I mean, just spit it down on the ground, on the floor. It's like, oh, crap. He's like, hey, man, don't tell my wife. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be eating cheesesteak anyway, right? He's like, yeah, again, don't tell my wife. But he's like, it'd be especially bad now. I'm like, okay.
Do you think there really is some religion up there where a guy goes, no, dude, you had a Philly cheesesteak 40 years ago on a Friday, so you know what, man? Sorry, can't get in.
Sorry.
Is that really what it is? I led a wonderful life, and because I had bacon, you're not going to let me into heaven? I mean, do you really believe that's true?
Hell no.
I don't. I think there's a couple things. I think number one, like you couldn't keep pork around.
Right.
So it's just like, don't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But also some of those religious traditions, like you don't have to be religious. Sometimes it's just good to kind of practice some self-discipline. Like
no question.
I was talking to a Muslim guy, and he was like, I'm not super Muslim anymore, but he's like, Ramadan's just a good time to like test myself and fast and this and that.
Fair enough. We call it January in the States.
I mean, I don't eat ice cream every day.
Right.
I don't eat ice cream every day. I would like to. I don't eat French fries every day. I would like to. To me, that's all the discipline I need.
Right.
I can have pizza every once in a while, whatever the deal is. Just do it, don't do it every day, but,
Right, moderation.
Yeah, exactly. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Valerie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, thank you.
Hola. You're welcome.
Tadpole stew.
What, Sue? Stew?
Tadpole.
Tadpole?
So is it still in the egg?
Tadpole stew. When I was like 11, I was at my girlfriend's house and they were Vietnamese, and her mom made tadpole stew, and I was like, "Can we go to McDonald's?"
Like, what? I want to get the mixed tadpole.
Is it still in that little egg that's kind of gelatinous?
Yeah, it looked like tadpoles.
And you could see the tadpole on the inside.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't do it.
So
and there was the fish head thing in there too. So
what else is served with the tadpole stew? Like what kind of broth is it?
I wasn't sticking around to find out. I was busy trying to talk him into figuring. We were like 11. We weren't allowed to walk to McDonald's yet, so it was our first time. Like, you've got to tell your mom we're going to McDonald's.
So did you actually go to McDonald's?
We actually did.
All right, good on you, man.
We actually did, because I wasn't eating that. I was going to say that balut, too. That's another one that should never be eaten.
I would try this based on the fact that it does not...
Tadpole?
It does not look like...
What are the ingredients?
If I did not know what it was.
Right. Maybe sometimes you don't tell people what it is. Just let them try it.
I'm sure there's a texture thing with that, too. It's slimy.
It's got to be. I mean, the tadpoles, man. So that's... Yeah, I don't know about that one.
That's kind of my issue. If it's not a spaghetti noodle, I don't want to slurp it.
Yeah. That's fair. That is fair. Right. To get the food into my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't think, what else do we suck into our mouth like that? I mean, people mess around with Jell-O. You're at noodles.
Oysters.
Sure, but I don't think you have a choice with oysters. And to me...
You got a choice not to eat oysters.
Have you ever seen anyone chew an oyster? I'm just thinking about it.
I give it a couple chews.
Ooh.
Because I choke on them.
That's right.
Tadpole soup is also a name for...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Damn. I mean, it makes sense.
For the yogurt you create.
Want some tadpole soup?
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK. I did not know that.
I did not know either. Now I definitely won't try it.
Tadpole soup. What's on your shirt?
Tadpole.
Why is this woman such a fan?
Tadpole soup. Man.
Hello,
So
Mike.
salty.
Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
Tartar sauce. I can't do it anymore.
Anymore? Did you used to like it, or what?
I used to love eating tartar sauce. I would put it all over my fries, on my burgers, fish sticks, mix ketchup in it, do everything with it.
I'd rather do malt vinegar.
I agree, but I mean,
one day I saw my wife making. My wife said, "Yeah, I'll make some homemade tartar sauce," and she pulled out a tub of mayonnaise and relish. And I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm making tartar sauce." And I said that, and I had no idea tartar sauce was made with mayo.
So that's what. But wait a minute,
you couldn't figure that out.
So you liked it, but the thing that ruined tartar sauce is that the main frickin' ingredient is mayonnaise.
It's mayonnaise.
Damn.
Yes.
So you don't like mayonnaise. You did like tartar sauce, but now that you know that mayonnaise is pretty much the base of tartar sauce, you won't eat it.
No, exactly.
Now, did it change the taste to you knowing what it was, or is it just finding out that it is mayonnaise? You couldn't do it.
It pretty much changed the taste for me because I don't mind mayonnaise a whole lot, but after the fact that I found out I was eating it by the handful, that's what came for me.
All right. So
I will say tartar sauce. I had this conversation Friday night with somebody. Tartar sauce is weird where you go in the country. So my buddy grew up in the Seattle area. He goes, is tartar sauce just a Northwest thing? I said, no. Like in Maryland, we use tartar sauce.
Absolutely.
But you would only use it on like a piece of fried fish, like a sandwich, something like that.
Right.
I said, what makes tartar sauce unique in the Northwest is that people use it as a dipping sauce.
Correct.
Straight up condiment.
And after being here almost 20 years, I cannot get past people who dip French fries in tartar sauce.
Yeah.
It's not that there's
It's not bad, though.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but back to malt vinegar, back to ketchup. There's so many other things.
Yeah, I would take everything else first.
A McDonald's fish sandwich. I know that's going to come with tartar sauce. It's expected. I eat it. It's fine. But I would never order it extra.
Right.
If it didn't come with it.
So that's how the conversation started. He was eating fish and chips. And I was like, you dipping your French fries in the tartar sauce is weird. I would use malt vinegar on the fries. And he goes, I just use malt vinegar on the fish. And I said, see, in Maryland, I would do the opposite. I would dip my fish in the tartar and put vinegar on my fries.
I put the vinegar on both. I love malt vinegar. Yeah. I mean, tartar sauce, like if that's the only condiment, I'll use it. But you're right. I would pick everything else to dip my fries in before tartar.
Also,
but not the worst.
By the way, it's only on the seaboard. So it goes up and down. Florida's got tartar, South Carolina, all those areas have it and it's available. But once you start moving about 2 hours inland, tartar's gone.
They're not eating fish.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's just not even a normal thing. I mean, if you have fish sticks, man, maybe your mom had a side of tartar sauce.
You're not
for you
dipping
at
tartar
dinner.
in your fish sticks.
Well, the fish sticks needed some help. I probably do ketchup. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Most of you listening right now are probably multitasking. Yep, while you're listening to this, you're probably also driving, cleaning, exercising, or maybe even grocery shopping. But if you're not in some kind of moving vehicle, there's something else you can be doing right now. Getting an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. It's easy, and you could save money by doing it right from your phone. Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save nearly $700 on average, and auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Discounts for having multiple vehicles on your policy, being a homeowner, and more. So just like your favorite podcast, Progressive will be with you 24/7, 365 days a year. So you're protected no matter what. Multitask right now. Quote your car insurance at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $698 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Here's good times. Bolivian man on a hunting trip to the Amazon rainforest got separated from his group on January 25th. His family did report him missing. Johan Acosta, 30 years old, found safe February 25th, a month after. He survived by eating worms and insects and drinking his own urine. I bet he'll never do that again.
In a rainforest.
Yeah. He also drank rainwater, of course. He reported that it rained about half the time he was lost, and he collected the water in his boots. And in addition to his less palatable meals, he ate wild fruits. He estimates he walked about 25 miles looking for help, but discovered he was traveling in circles, likely due to his disorientation. Reportedly, he lost more than 37 pounds during the ordeal, dislocated his ankle, was bitten by multiple creatures, had to hide from jaguars, and according to his sister, had to fight with a pig at one point. If the story is confirmed, Acosta would be among those who have survived solo in the Amazon for the longest. An Israeli adventurer named Yossi Ginsberg did so for 3 weeks in 1981. A Brazilian pilot, Antonio Sina, he survived 38 days after crash landing in the rainforest in 2021. And last year, 2 brothers were lost for 25 days.
2 brothers, that's right.
Rainforest before being rescued.
Hey, man, I told you it's a bad idea, plan. Come on. Just 2 brothers. That's all. They weren't related.
We need to split.
Right. We just lost 2 brothers in the rainforest. Damn. That's my new TV show, Brothers in the Rainforest.
Our question, what food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
This week on a special episode, White Friend Tries Food.
Yo, man. Oh, white boy. Hey, try this python.
Amazon Brothers.
Amazon Brothers.
Here's your package, sir.
From the text line here, I think we can all agree we don't want to eat this one. It says, several years ago, I bought a sleeve of powdered donuts to enjoy on my way to work. I ate 2 of them, and I thought to myself, are these lemon flavored? Because I noticed a distinct sour flavor. So I turned one of them over, I turned on the dome light, and discovered they were covered in black mold. Ooh. And to this day, I will never eat powdered donuts.
Oh, my God.
That probably depends on where you got them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean... But I get it. It's one of those things. If you have a real bad experience like that with something you normally like, you just, every time you see that food, right, everything in you is like, do not eat this.
Now,
if it's delicious.
Look, if it's a box of powdered donuts and they're the bigger ones,
yeah.
Or if they're in a bag and they're minis, yeah, I'll reach down and get one of those bad boys. You know?
But I think he was going minis. If you bought, look, if he's eating them on the way to work, I'm hoping they were minis.
If I'm buying a sleeve, man, I mean, 10 out of 10 times, I'm going chocolate covered donuts.
If you buy them out of the sleeve, you mean?
Yeah. 10 out of 10 times.
But there's only powdered of the chocolate covered.
Well, there's also the cinnamon ones.
I would go, they're just too dry. They
I think
taste
it's
good,
weird
man,
that I wouldn't eat, I mean, I would, but I never go for a full-side powdered donut. But you're right, if it's a mini one and a sleeve.
You'll eat like 3 of them.
Yeah, like, get in there.
I mean, if you go to like a Dunkin' Donuts or a donut shop, do they still have just that type of
yes.
powder?
Yeah, they got powdered donuts.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
And the best part about them is when kids eat it, it looks like they've done a line of cocaine.
And they act like it.
Yeah, they do.
It's not much different.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Jess, what's up?
Hola.
So, you guys were talking about bitter gourd. Sometimes it's also called bitter melon. And I was in the Philippines, and I've heard about it, so I decided to try it. It is the most awful thing I've ever had. It is terrible.
How would you describe the taste?
It's this like the most bitter thing that just sticks to like the back of your tongue that you can't get rid of. It's like you try and chase it with other food, and it like does not go away. It's awful.
How long did you have the bitter gourd breath after that?
I mean, like it doesn't really like make your breath bad. At least I noticed. It was just like that. Like it makes you like pucker your face, and it's like no matter what I ate afterwards for like an hour, it stuck there. It was terrible. It's almost worth trying just to see how bad it is, and then like never again. But every time I hear like cooking shows, I just like cringe because it's like whoever has to try that food is not in for a good time.
Do you eat it just like
it's in the name?
Well, it is. But do you eat it just like I don't know, just like you'd eat a regular melon?
No. Like you cook the hell out of it, and you mix it with a bunch of stuff. But it just even then, it just doesn't hide it. It's like when you're talking about like liver and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, you just bury it in this other stuff, and you'll never notice it's there. It's like, no, man.
No. You don't need to smother. That's the same thing with the gefilte fish. When they say, look, man, just slather that bad boy in horseradish burns your nose when it's raw and grated the way that it's typically done.
How about this? Don't serve food that you insist you need to smother in something else.
Exactly.
To hide something else.
Hide it to taste.
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolutely one of the worst things I've ever had in my life.
It is absolutely, and you're right. And look,
but at a family dinner, you just got to sit there and swallow it.
It's one thing to say you smother it in gravy. It's another thing to smother something in horseradish, because horseradish is so potent. That tells me that whatever I'm smothering is
love
that
horseradish.
bad.
I love it. It's a great accompaniment to a lot of different things.
How many things do you smother?
You don't smother horseradish in anything other than
gefilte fish. Because it's that bad.
It's horrible.
Why do you keep eating it if you know it's that bad?
It's also typically like the first or second thing you're eating for that dinner.
Why is it a requirement, right?
I don't know.
So on the East Coast, there's a huge Jewish population. So you heard about it all the time. I got to try it. And it really is. It's awful. But even my Jewish friends were like, no, we hate it. My parents hate it. My grandparents hate it. Like, why do you eat it? I have not met one person who likes it. I've met people who said it is okay, but I've never met any. I'm like, then take it off the menu. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never met. We used to work for a show called, what was it, Shalom Baltimore, Shalom USA, whatever. So it was a Jewish interest program, as it were. It's like 1 or 2 hours. I can't remember. But these guys.
It's a Jewish talk show.
A Jewish talk show. Thank you. And they'd bring in all the different foods depending on the holidays. One of the guys was they're both very nice, but one of the guys was very bitter. The other guy was very, very positive. You know?
Larry was awesome.
Yeah. And they're kind of like the odd couple, but they got along famously. But certain holidays would come up. And Larry, very excited about it. And he's explaining the tradition to me and all this. Jay, that was the other guy, was just like, oh, God damn it, I hate this holiday. I'm like, why do you hate the holiday, man? He's like, the effing food. He wasn't joking. So
I don't think he smoked, but he sounded like that.
He really did. So there was even some cookie thing. And I said, dude, come on, dude. Because his whole thing was the meal sucks. I hate it. But for this particular holiday, this is what we have to eat. But we finished with these cookies. He's like, even the cookies suck. I said, Jay, come on, man. The cookies can't be that bad. I said, I'm going to bring you some next week. So, okay. So he brought me 3 cookies. And he's like, try it. I tried it. And I'm like, you are not kidding. Even the cookies suck. I'm like, this whole meal sucks.
I always say that with the caveat that the year I worked for him, they brought in Hamantash and around Purim.
That's not bad.
That is delicious.
That is good.
Oh, you got the good hookup.
That
I did.
I didn't get any Hamantash.
That Manischewitz brand or whatever. So I go to QFC in Wallingford. And I'm looking for it, and it dawns on me they don't have it. It comes in a big jar that looks like pickles.
Yeah.
As far as
it comes in a square wine bottle.
Oh no, I'm talking about the gefilte fish.
I thought we were talking about Manischewitz. Sorry,
but the same brand. Same name. Yes, you're correct. But so the guy says, I don't think we have it here. But I'll go check for you. So the manager, he goes to the back. He comes forward. He's like, dude, you got to go to the QFC north of Northgate. And I did not realize, kind of where Batman used to live. Mm-hmm. There is a huge Jewish population in that area.
Yeah.
So when I went to the QFC up there, they had all the stuff. So basically I was able to buy it. And I'm just looking at it in the jar thinking to myself, I should have just said,
I couldn't find it.
Why didn't you it's gross.
But now it's in my hands. And I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to buy it. The idea of fish pieces in a broth, in a brine,
it's
a jar.
Brine. It is not a broth. Yeah.
It looks like a pickle jar, and then you don't do anything to that. You do not cook that.
Nope.
You just scoop it out, you put it on a plate,
and smothered in horseradish.
Then you eat this crap. And I mean, it's just absolutely the worst thing in the world. It is so horrible. Really I mean, potato latkes, yes, home run. There's all kinds of great food, but no, not this. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, right? Like, as long as we're talking about Jewish food, I mean, I feel like matzo ball soup is probably the greatest.
My wife makes some awesome matzo ball soup.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Once it gets cold, she's like, you want matzo ball soup? I'm like, are you making it?
Look
yes.
Look at that crap just floating in there. Oh, it's so terrible.
It really is.
Have you ever made matzo balls?
Yeah.
At home?
My wife does. I have not.
It's a little tough, man.
That's why I let her do it.
Do you like the bigger balls or the smaller balls? The bigger the ball, the less dry it is.
I like the bigger
I was going to say. So that when me and my buddy, we used to have this thing on Sundays. We'd cook, and we made matzo balls.
All right.
But same thing. The big ones were okay, but the smaller they got, they were just so dry. You couldn't even eat them.
Which just blows your mind. It does not seem like it should work that way.
Yeah, it seems like the bigger ones should be dry,
but they're really not. Yeah.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Paula. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, I had a recently deceased pet iguana, and he was still in pretty good shape.
How old was it?
He was an adult, and he had not been mine. So I don't know his whole history. I had him for about 2 weeks.
Oh, Jesus.
He'd stopped eating. And he'd seen the vet and everything, and I think he had a big tumor.
Or he was living in his and he's like, I can't do it, man.
Can't do it. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. This is too much.
Yeah. He didn't want to watch him die. So I said, I'll take him. So then there he is one morning. And I'm thinking, well, I've never tried iguana before.
No, wait a minute.
No, you didn't.
Is this the one that you cared for 2 weeks?
You basically took him for food?
No. No, I didn't. I rescued reptiles. I took in reptiles that people didn't want or were frightened of or
But
whatever.
did you
So I took it in
eat
for that reason?
But did you eat this
But
specific
then once
iguana?
it was dead, I'm a curious monkey, and I thought, well, he's not. He looks pretty. Exactly. He had meat on his bones, so I thought, well, I'll cook him up in a stew or something. Make sure.
Wait. Hang on. This is your thought process. All right. The iguana has died, which we understand, and then you're thinking, well, he still looks plump and tender. Let me cut his ass up and cook him.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I think. So,
how did you prepare him? What do you prepare? Did you look this up or did you just wing it?
Oh my God in heaven.
We're looking at a picture of a raw-skinned iguana.
Man.
God.
Damn, man. Oh, Paula.
So what did how did you prepare this?
I'm never hugging
Miles,
you again.
Look, I said I wouldn't eat it again.
I know.
But, I will give things a try. I like a lot of foods that other people don't like. So, and people do eat iguana quite commonly.
So you made a stew out of it? Yeah, I see you can barbecue it.
Cumin. I think there was cumin. I think it was kind of Mexican-y, a tribute to the iguana. And it was not good. It was surprisingly not good.
Surprisingly? I'd say, no, it's expectedly not good.
I mean, no, I'm pretty generous with, finding something to like about foods. And I would try iguana that someone else who knew what they were doing and killed a healthy one. I would try that.
So what did you do to prepare it? So the thing's dead. Obviously you skinned it and all that. Did you throw it in a stew? Did you put it on a fire?
Stew.
Did you stuff it? What?
It was stewed. I think there was tomato sauce involved. I think there was some cumin, maybe some onions. I'm sure garlic, because And so anyway, I let it cook for a long time just in case. And I tasted it. It was like the worst bad gamey. It probably tastes like a bald eagle that you found,
I bet you it tastes like an iguana.
They serve it in Curacao, I guess.
And like a nasty fish. Like there wasn't anything great about it. I wasn't going to.
I'm not sure. I had a very good friend when I was in college. Her name was Andromeda, and she was from Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so apparently they eat iguana down there like we eat bacon. And she was insisting it was great to the point that
the Caribbean's full of recipes.
She said it was like if you ordered a pizza for delivery, iguana was one of the toppings you could get.
All right.
So she's like, we get pepperoni and iguana. I'm like, Jesus.
It's also supposed to taste like chicken, but with smaller bones in the middle of it. So if it wasn't fed whatever it was, whoever took care of the iguana beforehand probably is not the same foods that a real iguana eats in the wild. So it's going to have a much different taste to it.
Yeah. So did you have...
And it also was healthy when it died.
I don't know that those two things work together.
You get a diseased iguana. I need to know, is anytime that something falls and drops in your care, is your first thought,
like, I could eat this?
What is this thing going to taste like?
Often not, but,
Well,
what other
animals have dropped dead and you were like...
And you ate them?
Okay, here's one. I found a dead fish floating in Lake Washington.
Jesus Christ.
You brought it home?
In the winter. And I did have a low food budget at that time. So
that's
winter,
pretty low.
Okay.
I hope you don't find my lost cat.
I couldn't catch a fish to save my life as a child. And so here was this. It was about 1.5 feet long. And I smelled it. It smelled fresh. And, fish will tell you when it's rotten.
The fact that I'm dead and floating.
Yes, that's I have a disease. What kind of fish was it?
It was politically incorrect squawfish, and they're not they're a fish that actually you could get a bounty. I think they eat game fish, and so if you brought in whatever body part, I think that at that time at least you could you could get a bounty.
So wait a minute. You have a low food budget, and you could either take this dead-ass fish and get money to buy some food, or you can just take the fish home and eat it, and you decided to just take it home and eat it.
I didn't know that at that time. Of course,
okay,
I took it home. I looked it up. I found out what it was. I asked about it sometime later, and somebody told me about the bounty part. But it tasted like perch. It was great. It had a lot of bones. It was fatty. If you like catfish, you would like it. It was fresh. I cut it up.
Flash frozen.
Paula, what was the name of this fish again?
I think it was called a squawfish.
Okay.
Squawfish. Okay.
That's what Mike Tyson calls crawfish. Yeah, let me get some squawfish. Sorry. So, have you eaten any other former pets?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have, I had those large snakes, and there were a few that I skinned, hoping to have the hides tanned. But that was too much for my budget at the time.
That meant something different to my family.
Yeah. What are you having tonight for dinner, Paula?
My cat.
I'm not a big dinner eater. I just had a muffin, and I think I'm calling it quits for the day.
Oh man, you're crazy.
One muffin. How big was this muffin?
Oh, it wasn't a big muffin at all. It was blueberry cream cheese.
Oh, that sounds better than iguana.
So you don't get stoned at night, I'm guessing, Paula.
No.
Okay.
You don't get hungry?
One muffin for a whole day just doesn't seem like a lot.
Right.
Oh no, I've eaten a lot of foods today. I had some borscht. I had potato salad. I have all the food groups.
Borscht.
Oh, okay. All
Good
right.
God, man.
I love borscht.
Paula, do you date anybody?
No.
Okay.
She even thought that was a stupid question, Miles. Like,
no.
Are you hearing me? Of course not.
He brought food over again. He's so nice.
I ate borscht. I ate a pet iguana. No.
What is borscht again?
It's just like beets that are cooked down. It's a big in like Poland or Hungary or somewhere in that part of the world. It is so gross, dude. I mean, look, if you like beets, you might like borscht. I just, no.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive. What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
Inside School of Washington is open to all Washington State residents grades K through 12. We have a personalized approach to education. Whether it's college credits with dual enrollment, career readiness, or credit recovery, we will accommodate your family's needs. The 23-24 school year enrollment is open now. Go to k12.com/ISWA. That's k12.com/ISWA to find out more. We've been around for over 12 years, doing online schooling successfully. No tuition fee and a high success rate. The support you and your student need. k12.com/ISWA.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Chinese food blogger Tizzy is apologizing after one of her viral social media videos showed her eating what turned out to be a protected great white shark. Now she insists the online seafood seller from who she procured the shark and with whom she had worked before assured her it was okay to eat. Some species of sharks could be eaten legally, and that was what I assumed when I filmed the video. I was truly fooled. I'd like to make up for my shortcomings because as someone who shoots videos, I would be spreading correct information. I reflected on my own mistakes. We'll keep learning new knowledge about marine life. So apparently, after posing for some pictures with a shark, to the delight of local children, she is seen transporting the shark to a separate location with assistance. And after preparing the shark, complete with seasoning for the grill, Jen cooks the animal over an open flame, then throws a large chunk of it into a giant wok for stir fry. Then it's back onto the grill, after which Jen can be seen diving into a hunk of grilled section of the great white shark, tearing whole strips off with her teeth. Don't be fooled by its scary appearance. The meat, she said, is very tender. And whatever fans might think about watching the video, a shorter best of clip can be seen. She ate a whole plate of it. So apparently, even though you're not supposed to, she didn't seem to mind the great white shark. Our question, what food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
You ever had shark? I had shark once.
I don't believe so.
It's like 13, 14. It was actually pretty damn good.
I was going to say, I've had it once. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really good. As far as foods that people don't want to eat again, I don't think anyone will argue with this guy. It says possum. Tried it when I was stationed in Georgia. Nasty. Tastes like bad corned beef that's been soaked in rancid vegetable oil. On the other hand, barbecue squirrel, pretty damn good.
I've had squirrel before. Not barbecued.
I still want to try squirrel.
I've had squirrel stew.
Was it good? Did you think?
The stew?
Yeah.
I've had rattlesnake stew. I've had squirrel stew. And both of them tasted, I thought, kind of similar. It's more of a vegetable soup than a stew. So when I think stew, I think, more hearty meat. And the meat is kind of like you're wondering if you're eating it or not. Because there's all kinds of small pieces of stuff, all kinds of things in there. I don't know. It wasn't gamey. I will say that.
All right. I figured
it didn't have that over gamey taste to the point where you're like, I can't eat this. Sometimes venison is very overly gamey.
It's real gamey, yeah.
I think you should fry up squirrel.
I think you should fry anything. If you fry something, I'm more apt to try it, right? As far as iguana goes, we have Paula that called. Someone here says, I've eaten iguana regularly when I lived in Honduras. It is freaking amazing. However, it does need to be pressure cooked, and there are more bones than you can count. However, it tastes a lot like beef broth, and its consistency and taste. All right, and then as far as borscht goes, which makes me want to throw up in my mouth, well, people don't like me. Incorrect. Borscht is delicious. And Kirkland has a fabulous Russian food place that would change your mind, Thrill. Someone else? Thrill, you're tripping. Borscht is delicious and tastes like American stew. This is coming from one of the pickiest eaters you'll ever meet. It just looks weird. You damn old turtle. Fair. I just don't like it, man.
Wise turtle.
Yes, it was a wise. He's just calling me an old turtle, which is also fair, but it is an old wise turtle.
That's weird, because I say I hate beets, but I've had borscht before and liked it.
You did like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried it. I really, truly, truly do not like it.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Somebody here, this text just came in. Need to call about gopher stew. Please do. I'd be curious to know how gopher stew.
And anything I say about eating small game, it's just because I watched that hunting show and he's always cooking it up. I'm like, that looks awesome.
Does it actually look good when he's not cooking it?
When he went and hung out with a guy in like Alabama or something, and that guy just hunts small game.
Okay.
But yeah, and they have all these techniques for how you how you skin the squirrel. But yeah, man, they were cooking it different ways. But seeing his little body parts in that oil, I was like, I want to try it.
I wonder why. Like they have the infestation of boars that are coming down from Canada, and there's boars in the south.
Right, but they're coming. Yeah, they're hitting the north.
It's a pig, and I know it's wild, but I wonder why. I mean, to me, anything that's even remotely associated with a pig, I would think would have to be delicious. But apparently, it's not. It's terrible.
Is it terrible?
I just know that. Look, if you could hunt all these wild boars and you could take the meat home and you could eat them, people would be like, dude, because they're saying like, shoot them, kill them if you can.
Right, exactly.
But nobody's taking them home to eat them. So they must be horrible. I can't imagine any member of the pig family. There should be one cut of meat on there that's edible, that tastes decent, right?
Well, let me ask you this, all right? I'm not a farm guy, but do you have to shave your pigs, right? Because every time they talk about a wild pig, they have hair on them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when the pigs go feral, somehow they're covered in hair. But if you go to a farm, so, like, are you shaving the pigs? Or, like, what happens to a pig once it goes wild that it suddenly grows hair?
I don't know.
It's going wild.
Is the skin on the outside of a ham, is that the actual skin of a pig? Or is that just a... Because it has that crunchy exterior. Like, you buy a whole ham.
I mean, look, I've been somewhere where they roasted a whole pig. And, I mean, you can pick off his skin and eat it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
I mean, pork rinds are pig skin.
Right, but they're deep fried, right? So they're fluffy.
Yeah. I don't know. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Frank. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, I cannot eat Brussels sprouts.
Right there with
they
you.
They make me gag. My family tries to cook them up surprisingly, periodically in my life, and every time I just want to just go and hurl in the trash can.
Now, how do they prepare them? Because a lot of, like Ted said, a lot of people, not deep fry them, but they fry them up now. My wife likes to make them at home, and I hate it because they smell so freaking bad. But
yeah,
she fries them up. She loves them. But steamed Brussels sprouts, they also smell like ass, and most people don't like those.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I can't. And the other one is like tapioca pudding. Those pearls.
I agree.
It's something just weird about it, man.
It's the texture of those balls.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, as far as Brussels sprouts are concerned, if you just use a little bit of oil, like a fourth of a cup, and stick it all in a bag, like a Ziploc bag, and just shake it up, you can put them in the oven and bake them for about 45 minutes or however long you want. And they are very close to the crunchy restaurant quality. They're not deep fried or anything, but they're still great.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my wife makes them all the time, and I just wish she wouldn't.
I don't know I don't know that I've had a deep fried one. I feel like generally you cook them in a pan.
Yeah. Mostly restaurants do it. So they'll do
deep fried.
Yep. Huh? Well, I'm not looking for that either. So maybe they do.
I've seen a lot of cauliflower deep fried. I'm just like that seems odd.
Do you eat deep fried cauliflower?
Once you see
what's that?
Do you eat deep fried cauliflower? Because I've seen buffalo cauliflower.
Buffalo cauliflower. I'm down for it.
Okay.
And there's one place I go which I like the bar. I just don't care for their wings.
Okay.
So I get buffalo cauliflower.
Really? You'll take that over the wings?
Yeah.
Damn.
It kind of looks like this.
What is it?
So these are all deep fried Brussels sprouts. But I mean, you've seen these at restaurants. It's not, a lot of restaurants do it. They might not advertise that they do it or tell you that they do it.
Yeah, but
that's in a pan, though.
Right. I'm just saying a lot of them are fried. You wouldn't see one like that cauliflower is
right with the batter.
And fried. So I'm saying they're all fried.
Gotcha.
That's why I was like deep fried. I mean, I'd try it. A little ball of Brussels.
Again, I'd be more apt to try it if you deep fry it.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, man. I made conversation with a guy in a bar in Scottsdale, and he was playing sly. But then eventually, I got him chatting. His son owns a barbecue place in Austin, Texas.
Ooh, all right.
And he was describing something they were doing with cauliflower and this and that. That sounds so good. He was like, some people are thrown off because it's vegetables and we do a lot of meat. And I'm like, yeah, I trust you guys to do anything.
In Texas, yeah. Like I will try your cauliflower in Texas if you're doing it Texas style. Texas does a lot of things wrong, but cooking is not one of them.
I just can't believe they do anything with vegetables. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Cleve. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I lived in Taiwan for 5 years, and stinky tofu is like the national snack food there. It's a fermented tofu that smells kind of like Smith Brothers dairy in the springtime. Yeah, it's kind of like cow urine and feces all been sitting in the sun for too long. And you can always tell when there's someplace sells stinky tofu. It's not fun.
I used to live not too far away from a place in Wallingford that specializes in stinky tofu.
It's actually called stinky tofu.
It's not what it's called, but that's why people go to this one particular place. They have other dishes and everything else, but it's right beside a middle school, maybe, or it's kind of tucked away in the neighborhood. But either way,
You can always tell when you're getting close, yeah?
when you walk in, that's all you smell.
Really?
You do not smell your food. You just smell
no thanks.
Stinky tofu.
Did you find any kind of tofu you were willing to eat?
Yeah, there's plenty. I mean, I like Dogon. They say tofu. We say tofu.
Okay.
But Dogon is like dried tofu. They smoke it. Good meat substitute. I like regular tofu. I like deep fried tofu. At my wife's cousin's stand, they have this soup they make out of noodles and tofu. Pretty good. I just don't like the stinky stuff, man. I don't like that fermented.
Yeah, fermenting stuff is a slippery slope. Yeah. Sometimes it works out really well. Sometimes I don't know why you did it.
Yeah.
So, like, fish is not something I believe should be fermented, but what is it? Is that the lutefisk or whatever it is?
Right.
Like, no, man, it's not okay.
It's called the Rock and Wok Taiwanese cuisine.
Yeah.
Stinky tofu. Served with kimchi. Kind of looks like that.
So that's full stink.
You can just smell it. As soon as you walk in, you're like, what is that smell? I hope that is not my meal.
Right. I'm trying to think, what is like an American food that doesn't smell good that we all eat?
I would argue Brussels sprouts and bacon.
I would argue broccoli in the microwave.
Yeah, because I feel like if you cook broccoli, once people steam it, Brussels sprouts in particular, just like, oh my God. There's plenty of soul food like that. Well, like chitlins, but I don't particularly care for the taste of chitlins either.
Maybe liver and onions. I know it's not common, but as far as just a normalized food that people eat, the smell just knocks me back to the point of, I don't even want to be in the room.
Yeah, liver, definitely.
That's got to be it. What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Gabby. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hi. Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Hola. Anyway, so I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but, one of the worst things I've ever eaten in my life, I had this little old Chinese man boyfriend at one point in my life.
Wait, hold on. A little old man boyfriend, a little old Chinese boyfriend.
Yeah.
How old was he? How old were you?
I was like maybe 20-something, and he was in his 60s.
Wow. Okay.
You get it, girl.
Yeah.
I dig it. I want to see your porn.
I like my men wrinkly.
How'd
you
meet him? He was a really nice guy, but that's not the point. He took me to this traditional Chinese restaurant, and I was so excited because I love Chinese food. Who doesn't, right? And then he ordered me an appetizer, which was cold chopped jellyfish.
Did you know this?
No, and it was so gross.
Yeah.
Does not sound good.
Do they season it? I mean, like, what does it taste like, as best you can describe it?
I mean, they tried to put a little salt on it, I think, but it was jellyfish, and it was chopped, and they chopped it very thin, almost like noodles.
Huh.
And it was just cold and gross and gummy.
Could you see it?
Yeah, and I tried it, and I was like, oh, good.
Was this a sugar daddy? What are you doing there, Gabby? I got to know more about this. What's good? The hell with the food?
I can't tell you all my secrets.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an ancient Chinese secret, I know.
Yes. How long did you date the Kung Fu master there?
I think like almost a year. He was nice. He bought me a house and stuff. He was cool. He bought me a car, too.
He bought you a car?
Bought you a car and a house?
So that's a sugar daddy, right?
Yeah.
You can at least eat that damn jellyfish.
A nice guy. But he took me, that's not the point. Like, the point is the food, right?
All right.
Okay. Wait, you're just going to gloss over the fact, like, somebody you're dating bought you a house and a car?
Yeah, I mean, he was a really nice guy.
Sounds
like a really, you could say nice. We all hear rich.
Right.
All right, Gabby, let me ask you a question. Do you still have the home?
Well, I moved on to other endeavors.
So another sugar daddy. Okay. So what was your next boyfriend?
Look, listen, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, right?
Yeah? How was it?
I'm not writing that. I don't know.
Exactly. So, Gabby,
we're talking about jellyfish here.
No, that's not as interesting. Yeah. It really isn't.
Don't eat the cold jellyfish at the Chinese food restaurants, okay? Don't do it.
I've never seen it on the menu, but I'll never try it.
We don't go to restaurants that fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
We really don't.
I don't remember. It was some place in the International District.
So what made you move on? A better opportunity?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm younger, so.
So you're looking for somebody close to your own age?
Yeah.
Someone in their 50s.
But were they a sugar daddy?
Yeah, but just avoid cold chopped jellyfish.
We're not talking about that anymore. Right. We're done with the jellyfish.
You think we care about that jellyfish?
Yeah, exactly. We're on to the squish
what
fish
now. What are you guys doing later?
Okay, right.
I can't afford you.
I can't afford it, man.
Find a 60-year-old Chinese
woman. I'm a nice girl. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, we believe you. Right. We just don't have
said enough. I believe you're nice. I believe you're attractive.
Absolutely believe it. I believe you.
Gabby, do you still have the car?
She's gone.
Oh, she's gone?
Yeah.
Gabby.
That's how she framed it. A little old Chinese man boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
correct.
Wait, Ted and I looked at each other like, did we hear that correctly? That's not a usual description.
No.
That's this old Chinese man that I was having sex with.
Right. The description was terrible.
Is he friends with David Carradine?
I mean, she could have just said my boyfriend. We would have never known.
No.
But once she said that, I'm like, I don't care what she ate. I want to hear about this boyfriend.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
And a house and a car.
A house and a car.
Right. He was nice.
Yeah.
He was so nice.
I talk about ex-girlfriends. I was like, you know what? One awesome thing about her was she used to cook.
She cooked.
Right.
Somebody bought me a hoodie once.
You got a sweatshirt out of it, something.
Yeah.
Right?
Not a house and a car.
Yeah,
Damn.
like her parents bought me a nice pan.
I'm going to start dating old Chinese men. If that's how it is, I'm telling my wife tonight, we're done. Yeah. I am dating old Chinese men.
Wait, we're just doing it wrong. I literally said to somebody yesterday, we were talking about the greatest Christmas gift you ever got. And I said, as an adult, probably my crock pot.
Right.
That's the level I'm at.
Yeah. She got a house and a car.
She got a house and a car.
She got a car. Well, it's a nice old thing.
You got a crock pot.
I'm going to start hanging out with the ID.
Yeah, no kidding.
What food will you never eat again, or what food will you never try? 206-803-ROCK.
Thank you, Mike. That was the point of the call, right? Don't eat. I'll tell you what, for a house and a car paid off, I'll eat that damn jellyfish.
I will too.
Right. Like, this is what I got to do to get a house and a car. All right.
Well, you got to eat more than that, Steve.
Yeah.
I'll date him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Might have to eat some backside. You don't know what he's into.
Hey.
How'd you get that sty, Steve?
Okay, we're moving on.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. You think
I'm a nice guy, too, but I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, neither do we.
I know. She's like, well, I'm really nice. Like, yeah,
We believe it. We don't have the money.
We know you are.
You know what else is nice? A Bugatti. I don't have the money. Yeah, we believe you. So, Matthew, what will you never eat again?
Goat head soup.
Okay, I've heard of it, and I'm assuming it's exactly what it says, goat head soup.
It is exactly. The goat head is skinned all down, all the fur, horns, everything's off it, just down to the raw meat. And they throw it in the big pot, and it cooks for hours, and then they pull the skull out and scrape the remaining flesh off. Add the vegetables, a lot of cabbage. That's the main reason I can't eat it again.
I would have to guess
the cabbage?
Yeah, well, I'm not a cabbage eater.
Typically cheeks are going to be some of the most tender meat on any animal.
Yep.
So I would assume if you get a little piece of that.
The eyeballs are in there, the brains, the neck meat.
Oh, God.
Everything. The jowls. There's a lot of gristle into you need another dish to spit out pieces of gristle and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's the name of my restaurant. Welcome to Gristles.
That's a first date meal.
Hey, so if they took the cabbage out of the soup, would you have liked it, do you think?
Like I said, the gristle was another, every third bite you're spitting out a piece of something. But, the flavor was there.
Okay.
Spot on for the flavor.
Oh, so really the thing to ruin goat head soup, I was going to assume was the goat head, and you're like, nah, man, it's the cabbage. I'll be damned.
Yeah, well, we made a joke. There was 4 of us that went to eat it because we knew this particular town that served it at a particular place. So we drove up there, and then we were like, whoever gets the eyeball has to buy the beer for the day.
Oh, no.
But nobody did pop up an eyeball. We were wondering about that. It probably gets cooked down. I don't know.
I would think you'd swallow it like an oyster, I guess.
Some people really like the eyeballs.
Really?
Yeah, I was doing like this retreat, me and this other guy, like twice a day we'd eat a trout, and he loved the eyeballs.
I mean, I guess they'd have a lot of flavor. I don't know.
I like the collar.
Yeah, that is good. Actually, they'll serve that at restaurants, just by itself, like specifically, collars.
Damn.
By the way, somebody here said, I thought Goat's Head Soup was an album by the Rolling Stones.
It
not
is.
An actual dish. It is both of those things.
That's why I'd heard of it.
That's honestly the first time I've heard of it.
I'd never heard of it as a dish. Like, I've heard of Goat's Head Soup.
Right.
And I could not even remember the Stones album. I just know I'd heard of it.
Yeah.
But I could not piece it together. But now
that's probably why we're both like, yeah, I've heard of that.
I was like, is that a devil's thing? What the hell is that? Goat's Head
I know
Soup?
there's a whiskey bar down near the market where you can get a whole pig's head that's been like roasted and cooked.
I've heard that's I have not eaten it myself, but yeah.
Yeah, because a pig's cheek. Now that's delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Halibut cheeks, you ever had those?
Awesome.
Yeah, cheeks, you can't go wrong, man. Pig cheeks.
That should be the name of your restaurant, Cheeks. Cheeks and Gristle. Come on in.
Mouse, don't look at me when you talk about delicious cheeks. I'm smiling. I can see my dimples. And stop looking at me.
No, we'd eat your cheeks first. There's no doubt.
Damn.
That's where we're going. Who Sucks Last? Coming up, you are listening to The Men's Room.
Love the skin you're in with Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand and Stone massage and facial spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
Odyssey celebrates Pride by amplifying the voices, music, and conversations of the LGBTQ+ community. Download the free Odyssey app and listen to podcasts celebrating and having conversations about the issues facing LGBTQ+ Americans, like It's Okay to Say Gay, Queer Intentions, and The Bald and the Beautiful with Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamo. To hear music by and for the LGBTQ+ community, plus podcasts and more, go to Odyssey.com/pride or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be overwhelming. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. Give their nifty comparison tool a try, and you might just find getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. Then you'll see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare. So it's simple to choose the rate and coverage you like. Press play on comparing auto rates. Quote at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
First Talk Sluts coming up. First time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Couple from our question, what food will you never eat again or what food will you never try? Guys, I was driving. The subject is iguana. After cutting it up, wash with lime or lemon. Season with green seasoning. Curry it. On one side, you have curry potato, curry garbanzo beans, curry string beans. Serve with roti or bus-up shot. That from Gay. I don't know. I would give it a try if it was made professionally at a restaurant. I'm not trying Paula's iguana.
No. Paula's iguana. Sounds like a euphemism.
Guys, I'll never eat chime again. I was at a
chime?
Chime. CHYME. I guess I'm pronouncing that right.
Chimay?
Chimay, maybe? Chimay.
I'm just thinking about that beer. Isn't that Chimay?
Yes. It might be Chimay then, because it's kind of spelled very similar, right? It looks close.
Yeah, but the Y is out of place.
I was in a restaurant in Rome, Italy, and the entire menu was in Italian, so I just chose something that sounded good. It was pasta and white sauce with these loosely packed, chewy ravioli with ricotta inside. I ate half the plate when my wife and I looked up. Turns out chime is calf intestines cut and tied shut with its mother milk inside, allowed to age into a type of cheese. I like a lot of different things, but I'll never eat that again. Tasted good, but man, they were really running out of things to eat. That from Sam the Fishman. If it tastes good and it's a type of cheese that you make.
Yes.
I am more than likely going to have an easier time digesting that.
I would try your cheese, that's for sure.
Than other stuff.
Hey, girl, let me get some of that cheese.
As we move on to the birthday emails.
I mean, right, I think that's a lot of food, right? If you're going to put it in with ricotta, put it in a shell.
That goes a long way.
Yeah. Let's see, guys. I want to wish my beautiful wife, Jen, a very happy 35th birthday. Can I get a fish sandwich medley? Coach Ted giving her advice on being 35, and Miles with an inspirational quote about running a kitchen. Thanks, guys. Lots of love. That from her husband, Aaron.
Can I get
a filet of fish sandwich?
So you know I got
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? With the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I'll order a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. Oh, yeah. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon. And at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich? Though you don't want a fish sandwich?
All right, 35. What's her name again, Miles?
Her name is Jen.
All right, Jen, here's the deal. You probably have some friends that are a little bit older than you. 35 is a nice age because you're going to remind them, hey, I'm only middle 30s. You're 40. And make sure to be mean about it. Your friends will respect you.
Fact. Let's see here. Inspirational quote about running a kitchen. Okay. All right, Jen, you're not going to like this, but always remember, Jen, men are in fact the best cooks because with just 2 eggs, 1 sausage, and a little bit of gravy, they can fill a girl's tummy for 9 months. Guys, you're all my favorites to listen to with the hubby there. He got me hooked on the show. We listen to you daily while cooking dinner. It's my husband Justin's halfway to 80th birthday, so please give him the best 40th birthday wish from the woman known as Corky, his wife. He's on a tugboat for the week, so I told him to suck it up, Cupcake. Thanks, guys. That from the lovely Courtney.
Suck it up, Cupcake!
I feel like a tugboat is where men go out to sea to masturbate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I used to have a buddy, we called him Tugboat.
Tugboat. Only, guys, it's my birthday. Ted, the Claw Daddy, should know which show this quote is from.
Claw Daddy!
No matter how desperate we are, that someday a better self will emerge with each flicker of our candles on the cake. We know it's not to be that for the rest of our sad, wretched, pathetic lives. This is who we are to the better end. Inevitably, irrevocably?
Yep. Irrevocably.
Happy birthday.
Irrevocably.
No such thing. Irrevocably. Yes.
You've nailed it.
Maybe an inspirational quote from Miles to help me get out of this hole I've dug myself in. Thanks, guys. That from Morgan. Okay, Morgan.
I will say, he's referencing Jerry. There's one episode, for some reason, he's serious and has feelings and isn't making jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's this for again? Morgan. All right, Morgan. Always remember, if you think that you are too small in life to make a difference, and sometimes you do, try sleeping with a mosquito. All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Couple extra emails there. Thank you, Evan. Fellas, what was in the water? One of these days, I need to actually call in for the question of the day. Given that I've been listening almost every day since my middle school years. I'm 28 now. Wow. On the subject of what was in the water.
Or maybe it's only been 4 years because he's really dumb. It's hard to know.
In late 2016, I was getting a workup done with my doctor when I was told my lab showed a history of a hepatitis A infection. The one spread through contaminated food and water. Well, when the doctor asked me if I knew maybe where I could have picked this up, it didn't take long for me to think back to backpacking through Vietnam earlier in the year. We had finished riding some motorcycles through the mountains, exploring caves, and felt that it was time for a cold, cheap beer. So I rode down some rural dirt roads to a bar appropriately called We Have Cheap Beer. While ordering our drinks, we noticed on the menu an item that said River Inner Tube, 11 dong. That is 50 cents in the U.S. currency, so we thought, why the hell not? So my friends and I took the tubes down to the nearby river, extremely excited to get out of the heat and humidity, and didn't hesitate to get in the water. As I'm laying there relaxing, I realized that the water is a lot browner than I originally noticed. And that's when multiple chunks of poop started floating by. And then more behind it. I suddenly remembered that the village I'm bunking in is upstream from the bar. I quickly put 2 and 2 together and started trying to get back to the shore, but the current was pretty strong at this point. For whatever reason, this whole time, I didn't even think about the open wound I had on my shin wrapped in a bandana from climbing rocks earlier that was dangling in that nasty water. Thankfully, the bar had showers, but who really knows where the water was getting pumped from? Yeah, Doc, I think I know where it came from. I appreciate you guys bringing some much-needed laughter to my day. Cheers, guys, from lovely San Diego, California. That from Jonathan.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks last?
Hey, time for Who Sucks Last. Stephen Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all kind of suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And as I said at the top of the show, we always have 3 stories. This week, we have what I believe would be Nick Cannon's, inspiration, followed by someone who it's only acceptable if you happen to have one arm, and finally, false advertising. Okay. Let us begin with Nick Cannon's inspiration. A serial sperm donor who has fathered 550 children. 550 children. He's now being sued amid accusations his prolific donations increases the risk of accidental incest. Side note, my next band will be called Accidental Incest. Anyway, the Netherlands Donorkind Foundation, they're taking Jonathan Jacob Meyer to court to stop him from donating sperm, and they accuse him of lying about the number of children that he's fathered. The Dutch Sperm Clinic guidelines say the donors should donate a maximum of 25 children or to 12 women. That prevents inbreeding, incest, or psychological problems. Well, the case is being brought by a Dutch mother of one of Mr. Major's children, who's been named only as Eva and had a child in 2018. She says, quote, "If I had known he already fathered more than 100 children, I would have never chosen him. If I think about the consequences this could have for my child, I'm sick to my stomach." Meanwhile, the donor place, Donorkind, they want the court to order Major to stop donating and to find out which clinics he's donated to. It also wants all of his sperm in storage to be destroyed unless it's reserved for a woman who already has one of his kids. Now, he's 41 years old. He's a musician from The Hague. He's on the Dutch donation blacklist, but he continued to donate simply by going abroad, so he would go to Denmark and the Ukraine. He's also approached prospective parents looking for home insemination online and on social media and shows no signs of changing his behavior. Mr. Major, who now lives in Kenya, sometimes uses a different alias when offering to be a sperm donor. So here's the thing. He just loves giving out a semen. He's fathered 550 kids. Wow. They put him on the blacklist. So, you got to stop doing this. He just uses a different name, goes to different countries, but there's a good chance he'll be your dad. Mm-hmm. Now we go to Florida, where Def Leppard's one-armed drummer, Rick Allen, suffered a head injury after he was violently assaulted by a teenager in an apparent sneak attack at a South Florida hotel. According to the arrest report, Allen was smoking a cigarette as the suspect was laying in wait behind a pole outside of the Four Seasons in Fort Lauderdale. Police say the teen suspect, one Max Hartley, then ran toward Allen at full speed, striking him, knocking him backward, and slamming his head on the ground. Well, a woman came out of the hotel to try to help Allen, but Hartley knocked her to the ground. The woman then got up and tried to run back into the hotel, but Hartley grabbed her by the hair and dragged her back outside. He then fled to another hotel nearby, but ultimately he was arrested after he damaged numerous cars in the parking lot. He was booked for elder abuse, battery, and criminal mischief, but of course he was later released after posting bail, because that's the Florida way. Anyway, Def Leppard and their 59-year-old, again, one-armed drummer, they were in South Florida to co-headline a concert along with Motley Crue at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It's a one-arm dude, man.
That is absolutely...
If you have one arm, okay, but come on. And now, like I said, we call this one false advertising. Cops pulled over an ice cream truck in Slidell, Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans. The name on the side of the truck said Tammy's Ice Cream and Sweet Treats. Well, the 42-year-old owner, Tamisha Morin, she's behind the wheel. They pulled her over because the truck had expired tags and no brake lights. But that's the least of her worries, because it looks like those sweet treats she was selling, yeah, actually drugs. When they searched the freezer, they found some melted ice cream and a whole bunch of meth. Thankfully, they don't think she was selling it to kids, just adults. But anyway, she's facing charges for possession of narcotics, and it turned out that she had an outstanding warrant as well They also gave her a ticket for the brake lights and expired tag.
It seems to me that even if you're driving an ice cream truck around, you pull into a neighborhood to deal drugs, that even still,
the kids are going to
come up to your truck because it's an ice cream.
You play the song and it says sweet treat, ice cream and sweet treats, of course. All right, so those are your stories. We have the guy who's fathered 550 kids through sperm donation, but he's in Europe. They've put him on the blacklist saying you got to stop. He just won't stop.
Yeah.
We have, for whatever reason, a kid that attacked a one-armed drummer from Def Leppard, and then the ice cream truck selling meth.
I'll say this. The ice cream truck in Louisiana, Tammy's truck, she's an idiot as far as having no license.
It's not Tammy's truck. It's Tammy's ice cream and sweet treats.
Correct. If you're going to get drugs, you're going to find a way to get them.
Sure.
Even if she delivers in this ice cream truck, it's stupid. She's a moron, obviously. Has no idea what's going on. But I don't expect a lot more from a woman named Tammy in Louisiana. I'm sorry. I know that sounds harsh, but I don't care.
Well, people can always find drugs. I think she's just trying to make more money.
She is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, delivery service, right? I mean, it's always better.
Hey, right there in the neighborhood. I still was shook up. I don't know, it's because the fact that obviously this guy's out of his mind because he attacked a woman, he attacked a number of other people.
Messed up cars, yeah.
Yeah, he did all kinds of crazy crap. But the fact of the matter is, the guy has one arm. Mm-hmm. You attacked a guy with one arm. That sucks a lot. To me,
unless you also have one arm, then I go, okay.
To me, that one sucks the most. Because you attacked a guy who only has one arm. I'm not saying he can't defend himself with his other arm. I'm just saying, logically, when you think about being in a fight, having two arms, kind of critical. I'm not saying a one-armed man couldn't kick someone's ass. I'm sure it's happened before, even with a swift back kick to the head. It can happen. I don't think that he's trained for that, right? So I think that one's the worst. I want to go with the sperm donor in the Netherlands who lied about how many children he's fathered is going to suck the least.
Well, in sperm donation, nobody's going to find out who the dad is, right?
I don't know how the rules work in Europe because one of the women that they talked to for the purposes of this article was aware that he was, in fact, the father of her kid. Because her whole point was if she had known that he fathered over 100 kids, by the way, lady, it's 550, she said she would not have picked him. So I don't know how the rules work.
I don't blame her.
In the States, totally. I believe it's anonymous, but if you choose it to be, I guess. But I guess in Europe, maybe you know who the person is by name. Because she said I would not have picked him. I'm sure there's a description of the physical traits, etc., but
would she trade her child in? The answer is no.
Well, no.
So
no, but I guess what I'm asking is, it just like if you had 500 kids by 400 different women, like that to me is completely different than being like, I don't know, he keeps donating his sperm, so they're. Then I get like they're afraid that there could be.
Well, the thing is, you've been black. I get what you're saying, right? You're giving people the opportunity at life, but if you've been blacklisted from doing it, so like, okay, there's too many of you. You know, that's all. You're going Genghis Khan, as somebody pointed out on the
and that was Genghis Khan's whole thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. And the old school thing, like Catholics only wanted to marry Catholics. Jewish people only wanted to marry Jewish people. There's all these different things. So, like, there's already been a history of inbreeding for hundreds and thousands of years way before this. So I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world.
I think marrying within your religion's inbreeding.
No, but depending on where you live and the limits it's put against you, there's not a lot of crossbreeding either. So you're basically staying within your denominational group. And a lot of that holds true even like for people who live on, say, like Madagascar. And there's other islands like that where they've noticed that, everybody's kind of related in a way.
Well, like Iceland's weird.
Exactly.
Right, because people don't leave there. Man. Yeah, I mean, I'm with Miles. I think the guy in Florida's the worst. Now, the woman in Louisiana, that sucks because obviously kids are going to run up to an ice cream truck.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't care if you sell drugs. I could not care less. But if you put it in an ice cream truck, my kids would come running into the house, ask me for money, and go run down the street, right?
Daddy, I got your man.
Correct. But also, she wasn't selling drugs to children.
As far as they know.
Right. So what I'm saying there is, like, I also, at some level, I get the entrepreneurship, the American spirit there to create a product, or not create a product, but get it to the community.
I don't argue her methodology, just why an ice cream truck?
Yeah,
nobody would suspect it.
You shouldn't be cross-pollinating meth with potentially something that could maybe poison a kid.
Maybe like a fake taxi or something. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe she just saw Friday too many times with Big Worm. You know what I mean? So she's like, look, I'll sling some ice cream, but also if people know what to order. I mean, look, there's been plenty of stories here about fast food restaurants. The guy at the window still served fast food.
He did.
But you could also get, like, you know, an eighth of weed.
I think that's how he got busted. Didn't he give, like, the drug order to the wrong... Because he put it in a bag.
Oh, it's happened countless times. Right. I know people in this area that have told me stories about a certain fast food place, like, back in the day. That, like, same thing. You went through the drive-thru late at night and you made a certain order and it came with some weed.
I know one downtown.
Well, everybody knows that one.
I don't even know if they ever turned the stoves on.
Mine was called Dr. Pizza.
Yeah, they're probably like, wait, you want what? Oh, burger. Oh, damn. Yeah, hang on, man.
I don't know. I guess in the end, I'm with Miles. The guy in the Netherlands sucks the least. That's just so weird.
And he's been donating a lot of his time.
And why?
I don't think it takes him that long.
Yeah, that just seems crazy. Like, I just want my seed throughout the whole area.
Yeah. You know you can stop him from doing that. Because, like, you blacklisted him, he keeps doing it. Like, you're on the hook for child
support. Is he getting paid for that? Is this a monetary thing?
I don't know.
In other words, like, hey, look, I donate...
$30 a shot?
I donate a few times a week to my drain or tissue or whatever, but I'm not going to an office to do this. So I'm assuming there's got to be some monetary compensation.
You don't do it in this office? I do it all the time.
Not during work days. Maybe
you come in here on Sunday to clean the chicken?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I was in here, no. Well, the problem is we have those cameras on us. So I was afraid they put it up.
I do it directly in front of
an OnlyFan or whatever thing is.
Well, we don't have an office, like with a door. That would change the whole ball game. Mm-hmm. I'd be in there going crazy.
Ted, unlock the goddamn door, man. Seriously.
I'm almost done.
Hang on. Debate continues.
It's been a long march, and you know I'm a Catholic, so I'm in heat.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you happen to follow KISW there on Twitter. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
Whether you're aiming at soda cans in the backyard or the deer of a lifetime, Umarex Air Guns has a pistol or rifle that suits your needs. The Umarex Emerge is the hottest multi-shot break barrel rifle of the year. It has a 12-round magazine that keeps you shooting more than reloading, perfect for squirrel season. The Umarex Hammer is a 50 caliber slug gun that puts everything from whitetails to feral hogs in the freezer. Since 2016, 27 states have legalized the use of air guns for deer hunting, and 49 states allow small game hunting with air guns. Umarex has everything you need to shoot with air. Umarex Air Guns is the world's leader in replica BB and pellet guns that allow you to practice your shooting skills for pennies on the dollar. Umarex Air Guns is the premium provider of sporting and replica air guns, encompassing everything you need to enjoy airgun hunting and target shooting. Visit shootwithair.com to learn more. That's shootwithair.com.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming in minutes, we'll drink and toast with the shot of the day. We do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right. Pepsi has unveiled a new logo that'll roll out this fall.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, yeah, okay. Is that a new permanent logo or is it...
That's a good question.
Okay.
Probably for somebody who knows a little bit more about it than I do, but
like the Pepsi people.
I'm not working on it. Right. I would assume that this is what they're going to go forward with. Nobody's going to like it at first, but it'll.
You know how that goes. Sure.
Exactly. This is just what it's going to look like. There's a bank trying to garnish the wages of the governor of West Virginia, Miles.
Is that right?
It is indeed. Yeah.
He's a real winner.
Apparently he. Apparently he hasn't paid off his $850,000 civil judgment against him.
He is not.
No, he hasn't. They're like, that's what that means. You owe us the money.
Right.
How much is it for?
$850,000.
So that's like garnishing his paycheck.
He's a multi-millionaire.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's not like this guy, he's just getting his paycheck. Like, he's already rich.
Yeah. And look, he doesn't make as much money. I mean, the basketball coach of West Virginia makes more. That's not uncommon in any state.
Sure.
But he still has so much money. He owns the Greenbrier Hotel, which is, I'd say maybe $1 billion property.
Goodness gracious.
Well, not $1 billion, but it's up there, man.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions.
Mercy. 48% of singles have received an unsolicited nude photo from a date or match on an online site.
What should happen to me?
I should get on one of those.
For real.
Give me your unsolicited nude. Never
send me some pictures.
Right.
Just send it.
Oh, no. Another one.
Damn it.
California passed a law that will penalize gas companies for price gouging.
Yeah, it's probably a good call.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of money this year.
They made a ton of money.
Yes, they did.
That math still doesn't add up for me. Wait, the price is higher because of supply, but you made record profit.
Let's see.
That math doesn't add up.
Never has.
A new dating poll found out that it's a good time to be a short, bald guy on dating sites.
For real?
For real.
Oh.
That's the target, Ted.
But you're setting me up there, dog.
No, not at all. No, it is a good time. That is the demographic. Folks are... That's
like,
young
for
ladies
real?
looking for. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Smorgasbord. Scientists have created the...
Just rub it. Which one?
Which one?
It's we didn't cover this. It's the second date.
Scientists have created the first woolly mammoth meatball. I am totally in.
In spite of that weird protein they're worried about?
Don't care.
So that's the whole thing. They're worried the protein will mess with your stomach?
Well, your immune system. They're like, hey, man, basically this protein, as far as it's been dormant for 10,000 years since it went extinct. We don't know if it would be bad, but we have nothing to base it on because it's kind of its own protein.
It hasn't eat your body from the inside out, and you had no idea. Now the whole world's.
Well, why'd they bother making it?
That probably just to see if they could, and that way, you know what I mean. Well, think about it like this. Now we're very aware of this company because he went.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
That said, the protein might also make you like Spider-Man. I mean, who knows? You might get superpowers because of this protein.
Maybe I'll get hairier.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you need.
Become a woolly man.
That's what you need.
Woolly mammoth.
I always look at Ted and go, man, he needs more hair in his body.
That's what everybody says.
Yes.
Heard it at the pool in Arizona.
Oh, yeah?
Now. I think everybody's be like, sir, you need more hair.
I don't know about you guys.
I'm sure Will sent it to me.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but one thing I've been caught up in recently is nostalgia. Is kind of looking back on the things that I had when I was growing up, as well as things as I settle on in my early adulthood of life. But there's also another generation that gets to do that as well. However, we may not be quite as up to date with what they got going on. There's certain things that the boomer generation will remember that not all of us will. So that does take us to
the Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
BD.
10 things only boomers will remember, or their offspring. So many fond memories of watching TV shows on ABC from the corner of the TV set while I'm holding on to the antenna so that Dad has clear reception.
I remember those days.
Rest in peace, Dad.
Luckily, didn't have to do that one.
Yeah, I did. And there's always something like 60 Minutes, which, as a child, when you heard that stopwatch for 60 minutes, and that might as well be like a car alarm. All you wanted to do was leave the room.
Right.
When you're a kid, that is the dullest, driest, most boring show on earth. My dad, you got to keep holding it. Just wait till the commercial break.
So these
For us, it was definitely Commanders games.
Oh, yeah?
Because my brother's 7 years older.
To the left.
So he didn't have to adjust it as much. Because he knew more about football than I did at that age.
Aha. Do your time, Smith.
Yeah, basically, that's what it was.
So these are the 10 things that only baby boomers will remember. Looking through the Sears catalog shows up at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
that was cool.
For sure.
All the new toys were in there that you didn't see on commercials.
Yeah.
And you could actually buy these things from Sears.
Well, Sears had everything, didn't they? Like, that was kind of the Amazon of the day. It was the one-stop shop, but you had to go there.
It was like Walmart without groceries.
If you wanted to buy an NFL jersey as a kid, you bought it from Sears. It might have come with shoulder pads and a helmet, but you could actually buy your favorite team's jersey and everything else.
Having to change the channels using the knob on the TV. I did have a TV with a knob on it. It was a wedding gift to my parents that they eventually, grew out of.
Sure.
But we used that as our video game TV, and it had the big old rabbit ears on it. And
Was there a switch on the back you had to flip to play the video games?
No. Okay. It did need to be on channel 3, though. And I did. The weird thing is that for whatever reason, the signal would start to cut out, but then we found that all we had to do was put pressure on the knob and it would come back instantly.
You know what? Look, TVs obviously have gotten much better, but it annoys me now because you can't just buy it, plug it in, and go.
I know.
Used to be you bought a TV, you plugged it in, and there's your TV. Now it's like, you must set me up. Like, come on, man. Go through all this crap. I know.
Would you like to use one of these apps, or would you like the Samsung TV Plus?
No, bitch, I just want to watch TV.
What's TV?
I think also you used to watch more. You'd stay on one channel.
Sure, because you had to get up and change it.
You had to get up and change it, but also sometimes when you change to the other channel, you'd have to move the antenna.
That was such a pain. Right, depending where the broadcast tower was, man. You got it down. So when I lived in Rochester was the last time I think I had to do antenna changing, but we had channel 2. We just knew they had to go. You adjusted the antennas like facing you. If you flipped to channel 13, then you had to have one straight up and the other one goes. So it'd be like 9 o'clock.
Sure.
It was stupid, but you did it every time you flipped.
Damn.
And it's kind of like, forget Red Zone. Like, there's just so, like, Red Zone's awesome, but there's so much, like, I just remember as a kid, like, you were on that channel, right? Like, I think maybe CBS had the NFC when I was a kid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it was like, you were on CBS, but when they came in for a game break, you're like, holy cow, what are the Dolphins doing?
I know. Show me a highlight.
What's happening?
Yes.
My God.
Seriously, though, man, it was wild.
Looking up a number in the phone book.
Yep. Or just going through the phone book and finding people who had funny names.
And calling them and letting them know.
My first girlfriend, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. We did that over the phone one time. Is that we were just looking through the phone book and laughing at people's names.
The caller ID messed that up for everybody.
It really did. No more prank calls,
That's the whole thing. Is I look at things in my childhood like, doggone it, there's too many eyes watching you at all times. You can't have the weird debaucherous fun that you got when you get.
And the thing is, most of that kind of fun, it was harmless crap. It's annoying, but it was hard. Like, you can't even do ding dong ditch because everyone has a ring camera. Right. You can't do the prank phone calls because they already know who you are, and if they don't recognize your number, they don't answer.
Like I remember, my one buddy, he had 3 sisters. So his parents had a phone for the parents. Then they had a phone for the children.
Oh, very cool.
So they had 2 different lines.
Oh, yeah.
So if you wanted to call Pat, you had to call the line that was he and his 3 sisters. Inevitably, you could never get through because his sisters were always on the phone.
Sure, yes.
So I would call his parents and say, and his mom's name was Pat too, Patricia. And I was like, "Hey, Pat, is Pat there, man? Because I can't get through on the phone." She's like, "Actually, he's the one on the phone right now." Like, all right, just tell him to pick up this phone. So he'd be like 2 phones. He'd put them together. It was so cool.
My grandfather told stories of, I don't know if it was when he was growing up, but he had a time where I think they had, I don't remember what they called it, like a community line, but basically this neighborhood all had the same phone line that.
Oh, wow.
Say that again, VD.
Party line, right?
The party line. That's exactly what it is.
My mom had one growing up. She would talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And she still talks about it, and it's like, like
Same
their
thing.
neighborhood. Yeah, their neighborhood in Northeast DC. That was like, right, the whole little section was on it.
Right.
So weird.
And he had an emergency where he needed to call like medics, but there was some jackwagon that was over there just tying up the line. He's like, guys, I need to get through. Hang up this doggone thing. Good time.
So convenient.
Indeed. Eating all kinds of weird Jell-O dishes. Again, we're talking about the things only baby boomers will remember.
I'll still stand on that crushed pretzels with the Jell-O and whipped cream. That's a delicious dessert.
That's not bad.
A little sweet and salty.
It is.
Sure.
It is. Jell-O's weird. Like, I like Jell-O, but people get weirded out by Jell-O.
It's a strange thing. There's just nothing else like it.
I feel like the pandemic did Jell-O a good job, though. His Jell-O shots are everywhere now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, alcohol did Jell-O a good thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, bars weren't serving Jell-O shots to the pandemic.
No.
Maybe like a niche little bar here or there.
You want to encourage them to come and grab a drink, maybe an order of food, and then take off.
Have you seen the selection at the place that I frequent?
I had a Washington Apple one.
They did. Every time we go, my wife they always give her 3.
Oh, nice.
They always have her taste test, right? Because I'm always doing shots, drinking beer. She might get a beer, but it's always, here's 3 Jell-O shots, try them out.
Nice.
Every time.
I mean, you know me. As soon as I walked up to order, I was like, pitch of Coors Light and 2 Jell-O shots. What flavor do you want?
Talking to an operator makes the list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Luckily, I never had to do that.
Did that.
I'm of the generation that's still terrified.
They were polite
over the phone.
I mean, that was one service call you could make where you knew there would be an immediate result.
Sure. Seeing the TV channel sign off at the end of the night.
That was weird.
And the national anthem.
That's right.
National anthem, those jets flying around.
Then the bars of colors.
Yep. Let you know. Time to go to bed.
That's right.
That is weird. Like, I always forget about that. Because if you wake up in the middle of the night now, like...
That's how I go back to sleep.
And I'm not sure that didn't pop back on until 6. So, like, you think about now, like, these TV guys get in there like 4:30. I mean, they're up earlier, but I don't know what we're first. So I don't know what that time is now. It could be 4 a.m.
Was there ever a sign in or a sign on? Like, it was this big grand thing to sign up for the night? Did they, like, bump ABC?
No, I stayed up. Nope, they didn't do that. They just came right back on.
Yeah, they just came back on. Damn. But, Miles, you're right. I feel some of these morning shows gotten crazy. I think there's one in town that starts at like 4:30.
Oh, God. Just so they can say we're first.
Right.
All right, great. I'm first to finish. How about that, baby?
If you guys needed to know something, just any bit of information, where'd you have to go?
411.
Encyclopedia?
Bingo, the encyclopedia.
Yep.
Encyclopedia.
And once a year, they came around to sell them to you.
You said information. That's all I was thinking of.
They had 2. They had World Book and Britannica.
We had,
I believe.
Yeah,
right?
we got Britannica, yes.
Yeah. Smoking on airplanes.
Yep.
Missed that.
Look, we know we can't. Can you stop telling us it's illegal? We know.
Things only baby boomers will remember.
I will. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Then get rid of the planes that are so old that still have.
Oh my God.
The ashtray and the armrest.
Yeah, somebody said that to me the other night.
I've been on some puddle jumpers that still have those.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then I know how old this plane is. Do some maintenance.
Right.
Change the seats.
Just bring back food.
Yeah, for real.
And decks of cards.
Ooh, that'd be nice too.
And wings. I want wings.
But why would they do that when you can now pay for it? They're bankrupt.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Dialing a rotary phone.
Yeah, that always sucked.
That sucks.
That's not something anybody would miss.
That.
You hated your friend that had, anything from a 7 and up, especially zeros.
That's why you hated dialing at 1-800. You're like, God damn it.
Well, and then you look at our phone number, 206-803-7625.
Right. I'm glad you know it. I have to believe you when you say that.
It does. And it was just weird. We had ours for way too long. It was yellow.
I should call that sometime.
Yeah, what a yellow one. Wasn't that kind of, it's either like a weird
standard?
cream or yellow, but that seemed to be the standard rotary phone colors.
Mm-hmm. I will say, though, hanging up on somebody in a rotary phone was more fun.
Yes, because you can slam it down.
Get that little ding that happened too because you activated the bell.
Well, you haven't seen Goodfellas, but it's like a famous scene in Goodfellas, too. He's like hitting a guy with the phone. I wouldn't punch somebody with my cell phone.
Oh, no.
Number 2, getting your mail twice a day.
Oh, that's right.
They used to have 2 papers a day.
Yep. Morning and evening.
Yeah, the evening post.
God. But then the number one thing that only baby boomers will remember,
lies.
Taking a hot date out to the movie, but not just the movies.
Drive-in?
Double
Drive-in
feature. Movie theater.
All right, yeah.
That's a good call.
I've seen one drive-in movie my entire life. It was back in 97, I think.
That's a nostalgia thing that I would do again.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. If they had one in the area and they had a double feature one night, like, dude, let's go to the drive-in. Maybe we'll just watch one movie.
There's one that still operates somewhere around here.
Yep. There's actually a couple that are still around here. Every time we say that, there's a couple that.
I was going to say, look at the text line.
I saw Jaws at a drive-in movie theater with my parents, and it rained. So it's kind of weird because you got to keep the car on.
You're underwater.
Yeah, exactly. So what your wipers will work.
I've never been to a drive-in theater.
No, really? Oh, we got to get you out there, Ted.
No,
this summer, let's get it done. Ted Smith goes and sees Cocaine Bear at the drive-in theater.
Let's take the Jeep.
A man in Cleveland will spend more than a year in prison because he dialed the wrong number.
What number did he dial?
I'll tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to get tested online for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
Love the skin you're in with Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand & Stone massage and facial spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
Odyssey celebrates Pride by amplifying the voices, music, and conversations of the LGBTQ+ community. Download the free Odyssey app and listen to podcasts celebrating and having conversations about the issues facing LGBTQ+ Americans, like It's Okay to Say Gay, Queer Intentions, and The Bald and the Beautiful with Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamo. To hear music by and for the LGBTQ+ community, plus podcasts and more, go to Odyssey.com/Pride or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save, too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save nearly $800 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $793 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. exclusively on the Odyssey app as we go live with Odyssey. Join in on the action as we cover interesting facts, top 10 lists, and some fun new games. Follow the Men's Room page on the Odyssey app and join in all the fun Thursday afternoons at 1.
Have a minute to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is. As usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve with Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today, we toast a groom. That's right. The man just got married. In fact, you may have seen a video because there's a video of the groom. He sang his wedding vows. It's racked up over 18 million views on TikTok alone. But it's not because he's tender and loving. He's just more focused on the sex. Now, let's face it. I think the last time me or my wife even said anything nice to each other was probably the wedding vows, right? That's the moment that you say all this goofy stuff in front of your friends and family. We went to Mike's wedding most recently, right? Mm-hmm. He did the brilliant vows. It's all good. This guy, little different. And he did not post this. The wedding videographer posted the clip, and it starts out earlier in the day, and it asks the groom, is there anything he wants to say? And the guy answers, and I quote, I hope we have a lot of sex. A lot. That's kind of funny. It's just off the cuff. You're talking to the photographer. Well, now it comes down to the point where he is standing in front of friends and family. He's going to deliver the vows. And one thing you need to keep in mind, as he is delivering these vows, his mother is the wedding officiant. Okay, so I cannot say everything that he said in the vows because we'd have to beep the whole thing out. So I'll just give you two snippets. One of the things he says, quote, only two things are required to keep me happy. keep my belly full and my bees empty. While you're amazing at half of it, we really need you to get some cooking lessons. So that's how he starts. And then toward the end of his vows, in addition to many, many other things he says, nothing's better than the sound of gagging and the headboard slamming. Wow. Again, his mom is the official. It was much worse than that. I found it funny. Some people got upset, but the bride was happy with it, so nothing to worry about. Anyway, I'm toasting him just for being dead honest about the whole thing. If you listen to it, which I'm sure half of you already have, it's just all about the sex and eating. That is all this man cares about. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Joe Dredd. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola. Joe, I already know that you know how this game works. Quick question. Will you be joining us for Seattle Rock Night next week, April 7th?
Well, here's the thing. I was asked to perform, and I tried putting a band together, and the people I wanted were not available, so I had to bow out. But I want to know why BJ's son, Joey, has bailed out of playing a song with you guys. He just told me yesterday.
It was on time limitations, like he started playing the bass. To his credit, he admits, I suck. And I said, learn one song for us. We had a song picked for him to play that I figured he could figure out in time. But just because of time constraints, he ended up getting cut out of there. But we're going to get his ass up there on stage.
Well, here's the thing, though. He had mentioned, and I said I would do it, but I was going to dress him up in my Gene Simmons costume and boots and everything to do that one song, even with the Bad Lax bass.
Dude, I really wanted that. All right, Joe, look. Hey, man, you got four...
Do you want to wear it?
No. You got four categories to choose from. You know what they are. The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? Interior decorating, where you guessed before an object that ended up on the inside of someone. And, of course, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guessed the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Well, you know, I've played this game quite a few times. I'm going to go with the new category, Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
All right. Here is your story. We go to Florida, where a 39-year-old woman is facing felony battery charge for striking her 68-year-old boyfriend in the eye with something that she threw. Police say that Carlene Biswanger, that is her real name, and the victim, they've been living together in St. Petersburg for about a year, and they've been engaging in consensual sexual intercourse. Now, during a confrontation on a Sunday evening, police say that Biswanger threw something at the victim's face, causing injury to the right eye. She also allegedly threw a hanging rod that struck the man on the arm. Quote, a portion of this incident was witnessed by a neighbor. So the battery occurred at an apartment complex for residents age 62 or older. And after being read her rights, Biswanger denied directly striking the victim. But she was arrested for battering a victim age 65 or older, which is a felony. She was released from the county jail without bond late Sunday night. Now, her rap sheet includes multiple convictions for illegal possession of Xanax, as well as convictions for theft, DUI, obstructing police, probation violation, blah, blah, blah. The question is...
she's a piece of work.
Yes. Oh, work. Different four-letter word. All right, the question is, what did she throw in his face? Was it a Roomba vacuum, an avocado, a shot glass, or a shoe? So a Roomba vacuum, avocado, shot glass, or shoe?
Well, that's a good question. I have an idea, but what do you guys think, Ted?
How old was she?
She's 39.
You know what? Like a Roomba vacuum would really injure somebody.
Yeah.
I think she banged down a shot and then threw the glass at him.
All right.
Shot glass.
Okay.
Well, Miles?
Man, 39, woman, loves that toast in the morning. Avocado, Joe. Avocado.
Okay. Now, what was the second item she threw out?
Avocado was second. Roomba was first. Shot glass third.
No. They
a hanging rod, like out of the closet, a hanging rod.
Okay. Well, being that it was a hanging rod out of a closet, I'm thinking shoe makes sense.
All right.
But I also want to let you guys know that I'm going to take the answer off the air because I'm not sitting around for 10 minutes waiting.
All right. Thanks, Joe. You know what, man? If you're playing it, I'm going to walk away and go pee as soon as you sing like God of Thunder. We're going to find out what you hit him in the face with. Was it a Roomba vacuum, an avocado, a shot glass, or a shoe next?
Oh, damn it.
That was a tease. Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories: hit me with your best shot on profile. Has got a 4-1 facing felony battery charges after hitting her victim, boyfriend, I guess, in the eye. Threw something at him. Apparently, he is a senior to make it a felony assault charge.
Correct.
Question is, what did she pick up and throw at him? Hit him in the head with a shower curtain rod, too, as well?
She hit him in the arm with the curtain rod, but otherwise, yeah.
Was it a Roomba vacuum, an avocado, a shot glass, or a shoe?
We will start with Joe, who has since left us, as he said he would. He went with the shoe, which makes sense because he said, look, she's in the closet, grabbed the rod. However, God, you son of a whore, I swear to God. No, it was not a shoe. B. Ted Smith, you went with the shot glass.
Shot glass.
Which is where I would have gone. Because let's face it, sounds like something you do drunk. Miles, you went with the very bizarre pick of an avocado.
Avocado to the head.
Yeah. You are correct, yes. She hit him with a goddamn avocado.
It depends on the ripeness.
You are 100%
too
correct.
hard.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
If it ain't ripe yet, man,
leave
take you down.
Definitely a bruise. Now for all TV news all time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today got Seth Meyers.
Okay.
The Jimmies.
Fallon Kimmel.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
Right there in the title, these guys have talented teams of writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Gwyneth Paltrow is on trial for a skiing accident where a man claims she crashed into him on the mountain. I guess she didn't see the yellow light.
The Ted Smith, yes.
It's a Coldplay joke, Mike.
Yeah. Good job, Ted.
Researchers had developed new smart leggings that will tell you when it's time to take a break from working out, while your regular jeans tell you when it's time to get back in the gym.
Fallon Myers.
Fallon.
Researchers developed new smart leggings that tell you when it's time to take a break from working out. While your regular jeans tell you when it's time to get back to the gym.
I feel like smart leggings should just be like, wash me.
Yes. Don't wear these.
Amazon has a new feature that'll alert customers about products that are frequently returned. And frequently returned doesn't mean they're bad products, just means they're bought by people who are frequently drunk.
Fallon. Yeah, I'll say Fallon.
That is Fallon.
Amazon has a new feature that will alert customers about products that are frequently returned. Just to be clear, frequently returned doesn't mean that they're bad products. It just means that they're bought by people who are frequently drunk.
Authorities in California recently arrested a man who allegedly burglarized several optometry offices. Witnesses described the subject as a person who's between 4 and 8 feet tall and very blurry.
Myers.
Yeah, I'll say so.
That's it.
Authorities in California recently arrested a man who allegedly burglarized several optometry offices. Witnesses described the subject as a person between 4 and 8 feet tall and very blurry.
Public service announcement to my friends. Everybody chill out. Mike put a post up there. We taped a new episode of the podcast last night. Very good episode. We had some fun. We were laughing and joking.
Nice.
I did move from Capitol Hill. I live in the northern part, just north of this. I'm in the city. It's just a little bit north. We were joking that I live in the suburbs.
So now you should maybe start watching Northern Exposure.
Right. Now I'm suburban Ted, this and that. Everybody chill out, man. I'm still around. And maybe listen to a brand new episode of the podcast to find out where I moved.
Yeah. Got some goats, all that stuff.
Chickens.
All the room in the world, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got the smoker out there doing all that stuff.
Cornhole. You could do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as the dog doesn't steal your bag.
Well, I still own mini cornhole. Break that out. It's just tinier. It's good for apartments or like when you're traveling. I'll be dead honest with you. That is one of those gifts my mom got me, and I was like, "What in the hell? Why'd you give me this?" I've held on to it for years. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's why she got you there.
Yeah. All right, so everybody knows Kelly Ripa.
Yes.
She's been doing live for 22 years. She makes around $20 million a year.
Good for her.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird. You've heard rumors about Regis maybe wasn't too pumped when she got on the show, and then we all remember the Michael Strahan thing.
Right.
When she started as Regis Philbin's co-host, shout out to Regis, she didn't even have her own office. It took them 4 years to clean out a janitor's closet and put a desk in there so she would have a place to put her things. Now, here's the crazy one. First, they say for several years, she didn't have a bathroom. She used the same one as the audience members.
I read this earlier today.
Crazy.
It just seems strange. So, right, she joins Regis, and I don't know if Regis is making the calls, but she's like, I couldn't get an office. That took years to get an office. And, right, it was a broom closet. They had offices available. Put her in the broom closet, but the bathroom thing, and she was like, dude, I want to say she was pregnant at one point. And she's like, but it's the same bathroom as the audience members. Right?
There's 250 people in the audience, and she's hosting the show, right? So she doesn't have a lot of time. But the idea of her, waiting in line or even, having to wait for a stall, to me just seems ridiculous.
And you're one of the stars of the show, so everyone's talking to you and all that.
It's the middle of a commercial break. Everyone goes to the bathroom who's in the audience at that time. So does she.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get annoyed at Live Day sometimes backstage because there's only, a couple minutes to go pee. It's tell people to get out of that damn bathroom. I got to go pee.
Yeah. We've had a shared office for 20 years. No, we didn't at the old building.
No. I had a shared desk.
We yeah. Windows.
But yeah, that just seems crazy. I don't know about the office thing. I could fathom her not having an office. I'm sure there's somewhere, but having to use the same bathroom as 250 audience members, it's that's
ridiculous.
That's not being
that's not
I'm hoity-toity or whatever. No. It's no, she's hosting the show. She needs a quick place to pee.
But even the office thing is crazy when it's a show. You're on the show.
There's only two people.
Right. It's you and Regis, right? You need an office. Whatever. I mean, but she stuck through it, man.
She did. And she talked about, she was talking about, she was shocked when Regis left, and she was shocked when Strahan left. And I like her quote here. She said, had I known how difficult that would have been, I don't know that I would have gone for it. I think my ignorance in that situation wound up being a blessing and my superpower. Did not have an easy time. And she was dead honest about it, and I get it. Obviously, everybody knew but her, which is pretty crappy. Now, she obviously, Ryan Seacrest, she knew he was going to leave. Then I found this interesting. She said it was ABC's idea to replace him with her husband, Mark.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he's guest hosted probably more than anyone else.
He's guest hosted a bunch.
But still, I mean, for my money, be like, no. I'm not working with
I mean, look, I think I would worry about that on a personal relationship. But, I don't know. You see it in radio a lot. There's a lot of couples that do shows or whatever. I think for a show like how Live operates, I don't think having a married couple up there makes sense for their kind of brand.
It's 1 hour. So really, they're doing 42 minutes of content. It's all the prep that goes into it. So yeah, I think that's a little more survivable.
They still got that same producer. Was it Gelman? Sure. I think it was Gelman.
I remember his name. I don't know.
Because Live with Regis and Kathy Lee was kind of in there with Price is Right. If you were sick or something, you know what I mean? Because I think that show came on at 10 a.m. maybe when I was a kid. So 10 a.m. You're in school, right? School starts so early. So that was one of those things watching Regis and Kathy Lee. I don't know why I got so excited about it. It's just fun.
I'm homesick.
I'll never forget. One time it was 10:15. I went to the bathroom. And I'm in grade school and I remember staring out the door. It was a nice sunny day, springtime. I thought to myself, people are out there doing stuff. I'm stuck at school.
Yeah. Damn it.
All right, let's see this. Lionel Richie, everybody knows him.
Sure.
What's one of his biggest hits?
I mean, Commodores Hello, probably.
Dancing on the ceiling.
All night long?
All night
long, yeah.
Easy. Say along.
Well, he doesn't last all night long anymore.
Oh, damn.
He was on The View yesterday. Lionel said, quote, "When I wrote all night long, it was truly all night long. Now my all night long is down to a fierce 15 minutes. But don't worry, we'll talk about that later."
That was the 80s. He was on cocaine and much younger. Dude's in his 70s now. Like, he's going to bed by 9.
By 9.
Dude, I got 15 minutes for you, and that's it.
I don't know that I've ever actually listened to the lyrics of that song. I guess it is about sex. I thought he was just like, all night.
Right, because as a kid, you're not thinking about that. But now he's all about getting the hookup.
Yeah.
Well, maybe humming, meow, meow.
Maybe he's doing the Sting stuff.
Oh, the tantric sex?
The tantric sex. Is he still on that? That he has sex for 6 hours?
Wouldn't you be if you could? I'm just assuming if you could do it and you still can, I still would.
Like, I don't have a day job.
No.
No,
that, like, 6 hours? No. Like, at a certain point, I want to finish.
You're right, but if
you're going
good,
to do that more than once.
I don't think so. I think that's his whole thing. It's like you got to hold off.
Well, you do.
Oh, really?
If you want to.
No.
Let me ask you this. We all played a sport growing up, correct?
Sure.
Would you just want to practice 364 days a year, then you play one game?
Right, and that's it.
Well, like, the hell with that.
I got food to eat, man. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's certain times I want to take my time, make it sensual, this and that. But, like, there's also times where it's like,
let's get this done.
Yeah, and Mike's right.
Dude, we're going to brunch.
Maybe it's Sunday morning. I mean, that's a hell of a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Little wham bam, the little breakfast.
Before Red Zone starts, and then I'm going to go sit on the couch.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's a Sunday there, boy.
Yeah.
Sunday morning sex. Leading into Red Zone. 2 favorite things, my girl and Chris Hansen.
Yeah. I didn't expect the Red Zone to come early before it came on, honey. Sorry.
My bad.
Now it's the witching hour, damn it.
So I guess no sex, just the television.
He's got the Octo box, damn it. I missed it.
But so does she. 1, 2, how many hold? 3.
I mean, I'm telling you, the only thing you need to add into that is what? Like some bacon, some eggs?
Brought to you,
right? Also be cool to have Chris Hansen in your bedroom.
No, it would not.
Yeah, he's got like a little screen.
Crushing it right now.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the witching hour.
We're going to take a pause from Green Bay to go into Ted Smith's bedroom for a second.
We saw him have that twinge in his leg. It is time for the witching hour.
Ted Smith is in the red zone, ready to strike.
Right,
now, Ted is crushing it.
He is a person to the claw, so maybe he's dirtier than you think.
Yeah.
This is my one thing.
Right.
I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Let's do this.
I'll put it in sideways.
He seems like an adrenaline junkie. Like, I think his Twitter photo is him on top of, like, Mount Rainier or Mount Everest or something. I think he climbed Mount Rainier with the commissioner.
Really?
Yeah.
He might have.
Let's just go all the way to the top.
Duff was supposed to go up there with those guys.
Duff McKagan?
Yeah.
Why didn't he?
They screwed him over.
Oh, all right.
If you don't think that's true.
All right. I will say this. If you're a baseball fan, obviously tomorrow's a big day. You will have opening day.
Even if you're not a baseball fan, there's something about opening day that's just awesome.
I'm not coming to work.
Tomorrow?
Mike, we have threatened that for years. Next year, let's do it. If the Mariners open up at home, let's just
we're just
well. Either way, they're going to open up a home game. So even if they've been on the road for a series,
but the home, I wouldn't take a day off just to go to the home opener.
Right, opening day.
Yeah, you're right. It's different.
Yeah, and it kind of throws me off that baseball does that now. Like, it's opening day. Like, no, that's our home opener. But again, I just sound like an old crotchety dude. That's a home opener, dude. It's not opening day. But opening day, I'm with you. Like, I remember once as a kid, we went. My buddy Bernie, he's a baseball freak. If the Orioles have opening day, like
16th,
he takes right. But if they play on opening day, he takes his kids out of school. They go every year.
It is a it is a holiday in Baltimore on opening day. Like, your kids do not go to school, and you almost don't even have to excuse them.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Like, if the kid's not there, it's just like right there.
Thank God the Yankees and Red Sox are in our division.
Mm-hmm. And look, you're right. It's not that the home opener is any less fun. There's just something special about opening day and going. I mean, look, if you're a football fan, right? Like, one of the coolest things about the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl is the next year you had the first game of the season, right?
Hell yeah.
That Thursday night. We were there. Pharrell was there. Ariana Grande singing the national anthem. Soundgarden. I mean, hell, even this year it was just fun to open up and beat Russell Wilson.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
80s night tonight on The Masked Singer there, Throw.
Oh, great.
And then the 26th season finale of South Park on Comedy.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Wisconsin bomber is arrested after leaving behind a half-eaten burrito full of his DNA. Meanwhile, an Amazon delivery man delivers a package during a police standoff like just any other day. Woman sneaks wine at a festival to save some dough. Man uses tracking device to watch his stolen luggage on the go. And a Lacey man tries to steal Legos in a stolen car and fails. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to Cleveland, where a man admits to being unfatherly. He'd gotten into an argument with his son that boiled to the point that he actually wanted to hire a hitman to take his son out.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. He called the number and left a couple detailed messages about what he wanted done. Luckily for his son, the number that he dialed was off by one number, and he dialed a random business in the area.
Jeez.
The man was arrested on attempted murder charges.
That is insane, man.
Right. Well, and
Miles and I were literally just outside just talking about kids and blah, blah, blah. And
sure.
No matter how much they F up, like, you just love them anyway.
Yeah.
In spite of, I cannot imagine. And look, there have been moments with my kids where I'm like, I am going to kill them. Right?
Sure.
But I cannot
you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. And I can't imagine where you're still so angry, like, I'm going to hire a hit person.
Right.
For my child.
Now, when he went to court, when he was at the hearing, I appreciate that he had pled guilty. He did apologize for it, but then it says, I was drunk. We were talking about it. We had just gotten off the argument, and I had called a hitman. It wasn't very fatherly. Like, you don't get to walk this one off there, bud.
I was drunk and I called a hitman.
Exactly.
Listen.
I was drunk and I called you something. I said something about you. I raised a hand. I would even okay, maybe.
We punched holes in walls. You've thrown things, never hacked the person. I've never thought to myself,
hitman.
I'm going to call a hitman.
Right.
Because
You didn't even just straight up murder your kid out of a crime of passion, as it were.
Right, where you snapped. It's like,
you called somebody to whack your son.
That is... Jesus Christ.
Yeah, good times. Oh, man, right here in Washington State saw the last person that he wanted to see as he came out of a Target. An officer noticed a car in the parking lot that had been reported stolen, which also contained stolen goods from another local Target. The officer waited in the car while another went in to get surveillance footage from the store. That's when our man walked out of the store with a cart full of, you guessed it, even more stolen goods.
Legos. He was stealing Legos.
Which are expensive.
Legos.
They're expensive.
They are
loved
expensive.
Legos when I was a kid, dude. When I got older, it was like, I need something to, I want something to kind of go back in time a little bit, feel a little nostalgic, do something with my time. I looked at Legos like, doggone it.
Mike, do you still like Legos?
I do still like Legos.
Okay. My wife and I have this massive bin of Legos.
Oh, my.
That's about to go to Goodwill. I would gladly give them to you. I don't want them anymore.
I get it.
I'm tired of stepping on them.
Unless it comes with the instruction manual and how to set something up. I was never the your world, your rules guy. I followed the book.
Different pieces, or probably 8 different sets of Legos, so no instruction book. Just bricks.
I can make my wife angry.
We got palm trees. We got people.
Oh, yeah.
We got everything you need.
Yeah. Let's see here. He did take off on foot, but was quickly apprehended by the officer.
You know, Mike, I want to give you these Legos, and what you should do, create the men's room Lego thing.
Ooh!
What does that look? Mike, it's on you.
I'll sell it at auction for smash.
It's the least money we ever made.
This big, ugly thing. I just
you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I might try to make our devil.
Right?
I got to count the red pieces.
It takes a lot of red pieces, man, but...
I cannot explain how many Legos we have.
That's fair.
I'll have the pieces. I just want to see if I can
get
do
it done. We go to Atlanta, where someone had some issues at baggage claim. The man waited at the carousel for a good long time, and his bag never emerged. Like 30 minutes, I think he waited. But luckily for him, he had equipped the bag with an airdrop device, which allowed him to track his bag's location. This is when he discovered that his bag wasn't lost. it was stolen. He tracked the bag right to the suspect, who was wearing some of the man's clothes already. He was wearing his pants and his shirt.
Kind of a compliment.
He was taken into custody and his belongings were returned.
Mike, if it makes you feel better, my wife just texted me, we have the books too.
Got the books too.
Apparently we have the
Just
books
give them to Mike.
and the Lego pieces, yes. She wants to get rid of these things as much as I do. So
Sure,
yeah.
I feel it. The kids don't like Legos?
It's not that, man. They just moved past it. So
once you do it, it's kind of done.
The boy is into
Mega Bloks
video games, right? And the daughter, unmercifully, creates her own stuff now.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, no.
Very good.
No.
Good on her, man.
Paper, boxes, scissors.
You know what? Blossom that creativity.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
A woman is going viral on TikTok of a woman's concert hack. Sorry, a video is going viral on TikTok of a woman's concert hack. It's no surprise to anyone that the line for concessions at any event can get a little ridiculous at times, but our heroine found a way to circumvent it. She made sure to pack a snack into the concert, a nice long loaf of sourdough bread. It's revealed in the video that this is no ordinary loaf of bread. It's been hollowed out and filled with a full bottle of wine that she pours straight out of the bread.
Ooh, I will say this. Whole loaf of sour bread?
Yes.
Sourdough bread?
Yeah.
Greater than a bottle of wine.
Agreed.
I'd almost rather have the loaf of bread than the wine.
At a concert, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a fair headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
Love the Terry Daly's up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Big Dummy and the Head Chef's back. Ted's Mean Potatoes doing a little baseball foods.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. In the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
Love the skin you're in with Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
You say you'll never join the Navy. That living on a submarine would be too hard. You'd never power a whole ship with nuclear energy. Never bring a patient back to life. Or play the national anthem for a sold-out crowd. Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is. Start your journey at Navy.com. America's Navy, forged by the sea.